All right. Hello there, and welcome to this episode, Session 2 of the Adventures of the Salamander Coast, party name to be determined.
Woo!
We are jumping back in, but before we jump back into the campaign, we had a request from an audience member, as it hadn't really been established yet, to get some character appearances and little sprinklings of other things in the character descriptions done by the PCs themselves. So, Cameron, you are right next to me. You are first in line, at least for me. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with you. So, Cameron, would you like to tell us a little bit about your character and what he looks like?
Yeah, so my character, his name is Desmond O'Malley. He is a small, kind of wiry, bronze dragonborn, about 5'3", really small, really short for a dragonborn, and he hates that he is that small. He has a serious case of small dog syndrome, and is super competitive, and will fight anybody over anything, whether or not he knows or thinks he can win or not. Last session with the pull-up competition and things like that. Very competitive. Yeah. So again, small, dragonborn, bronze skin, scales. Is there anything else that we need to say?
No, that's good. That's good. So we'll jump now to the calmest person I know. Mark, do you want to tell us a little bit about your character?
Oh man, yeah. So Cecily, unknown last name, is the calmest person in the world, much like me. She is a teenager. She's 15, and she's a street kid. She is pretty tiny. She's like 5'2", malnourished and quite thin. And she usually has messy hair and some dirt in her face. And a couple of bad teeth, and just in general poor hygiene and health. And she, in addition, has quite a bit of scarring, particularly on her face, and her eyes are sort of a cloudy gray, and she can actually see just fine. No one knows really why her eyes are like that. It might have something to do with her sorcerer powers that activated 48 hours ago, as of the current campaign timeline. But she has used that before to pretend to be blind and scam people for money using their pity against them, even though she can see just fine. And other than that, yeah, she's kind of just a similar small dog thing to Desmond. She has a very loud presence a lot of the time in the room as compensation. And she is often improperly presenting herself, both in terms of her grooming and in terms of her manners and her posture and everything. And pretty much, she seems to not know how to enter a room without saying the rudest thing possible. But that's her. And so, yeah, she's pretty much wearing what the image implies, because her most recent foster home situation tried to dress her kind of nice, so she's still wearing that stuff that her most recent mom, or adoptive mom at least, made her wear. So she still is in kind of nice stuff, but that stuff has been through a fight and prison, so now it's probably pretty shit.
Okay, very cool. Thank you so much. So now we will go ahead and move to Felicity.
Okay, well, my character is Bianca Dusong, and she is a purple tiefling, and she's like about 5'7". She is from Belka originally, but moved and is a shop owner in Summer's Rest, so whenever we do map stuff, that's kind of the places she's been. And she owned the place called the Alchemy Cottage, and she was into alchemy and like plants and that kind of stuff, potions and blah, blah, blah. She has burgundy eyes, which is different than some tieflings. But yeah, like the darker horns, purple hair, burgundy eyes. She's sometimes a bit socially awkward. She's definitely leans on the quieter side, but she will open up when she's comfortable with people. She's more of an introvert, but also is seeking adventure. So she became a blood hunter and is hoping for adventure, but it's all been this whirlwind of confusion and jail and mushrooms. So we'll see what happens. That's her.
Okay, very cool. Then we move to Poe.
Real quick, how old are your guys' characters?
25, I think. is
35. 15 going on 16.
Dragonborns don't have birthdays, so in the 18 to 20 some age.
Okay, so yeah, I've been thinking about Poe's age because it was kind of unclear since I started making him. I didn't really know where he landed. I think that 19 is probably a perfect place to put him. He's at that age where, you know, he's an adult. Whether it's not in his age, it's definitely in his responsibility, especially with his father who is really sick. So because concerning his father, Poe grew up in Water's Wake. He's hardly ever left Water's Wake. Maybe just, you know, right outside to go into the woods or something like that, but nothing far. He wasn't adventurous by any means. And the biggest reason for that is because he and his father run a blacksmith shop in Water's Wake. And what's unique about his blacksmith shop in Water's Wake is they use a very traditional, specifically an Inuwa tradition, which is sharpening and shaping blades using water. And he's a water genasi. And yeah, so Poe was raised by his dad, never knew his mom. And his dad taught him the ways of how to be an Inuwa blacksmith. And of course, Inuwa is a very maybe unpopular lineage, I don't know, but definitely a dying one. It's not big by any means. And there's a lot of stuff to live up to the Inuwa name, and that's where Poe is. He's a man of convictions. He has his father to thank for that by all the tales that he knows of the Inuwa. And he has his father's hammer and his journal, and he's just trying to help his dad out. That's his primary goal. And the way he looks, yes. I don't know how to show his picture.
Oh, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and showed it to everybody. Look at that.
Yeah, so that's him. You know, your basic, good-looking.
How admirable presentation of you.
Young guy. He has bright orange eyes, green skin, slight markings like water genasi do, and yeah, that's all for Poe.
All right. Very good. So then that brings us to our last person, Ishima.
Yeah. So I won't talk too much. Ishima is from Loshar, which is that far little eastern plateau on the map. If you go over there, he is a monk, both in profession and class. He dresses very modestly. This picture isn't permanent. I can't credit the artist right now because I don't know. I can't find it anywhere again. But it is a placeholder, so if you know the artist, let me know because I give them credit for that. But anyways, yeah, same short, dark, curly hair, pointed ears, aloof features, generally fair of skin, woolly feet hanging out. He wears a navy robe that is pretty close to the skin. Like, it's not like flowing. It's more like something you'd see at a modern Shaolin temple. Where they wear, I don't know if it's blue or gray now, but they changed it from the orange, which is sad. But yeah, with a red trim to it. He's generally pretty aloof. Doesn't talk too much about himself. He belongs to a religion in Loshar that is kind of a way of life for a lot of people, but here in the West and Valkara, it is more of a esoteric thing called Tungwu Path. Notable for focusing on the individual and mortals rather than gods. And meditation.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So there we go. There we have our introductions to our player characters. So that
Joe, you have to describe every other NPC.
Okay, person on a horse, scary. Green tiefling, cool. Dark one, cultist, creepy. Boria, old. Veronica, she's kind of cool. Druin, creepy. Priestess Shayna, she's nice. Master Tongwu, very silent. Rose, burned. There you go.
And Andre isn't there. I'll just get, DMC'd from that.
That was a good one.
There seems to be a general creepy NPC vibe going on in this campaign so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I just noticed.
Master Tom, bitch, what?
I just said silent.
Just quiet.
Yeah. By the way, I would like to give credit to my my wife for creating this landing page for the Roll20. So all your characters are there. That arrow shows where you start. And then what I'm going to do on Roll20 is I'm going to edit that and draw a little line whenever you guys travel to different places. That way you can keep track of your journey. And then whatever city you are in or near, or if you're... So whatever city you're in or near is going to be in the book right there. So right now it's Summer's Rest. But that will change when you guys leave Summer's Rest to the regional map of Bella Clara, as long as you purchase one from a cartographer. So yeah, which I'm excited for us to get there, but we're not there yet because right now, if I recall correctly, this light and fluffy music needs to stop.
You do.
You guys are not light and fluffy anymore.
We're not like
So, because Mark is the kind gentleman that he is, the way that he does his summaries is just, you practically write the summary for me. So, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys the summary of last session via Mark's own words. So, nothing brings five strangers together like prison. After a mostly eventful day of personal setbacks and terrible coincidences, five people, destined for adventures and heroics, met in the most unlikely of places. A jail cell in the city of Summer's Rest. All of them, just days before, were beset with life-changing circumstances that changed the trajectory of their lives. But it was a series of bad choices and, perhaps mostly, bad luck that led them to come together in such an unfortunate starting place. Some of the prisoners seemed to already know each other. The two older ones, Bianca and Ishima, seemed to get along well and had a strange, calm demeanor about the whole ordeal. The younger Cecily and Desmond were more contentious, and Poe, the middle child of the group, felt the burden of containing their childlike antics. Two others were in the cell with them, the chilling cultist Daku and the slimy serial killer Druin, both of whom were more deserving of their cells than the other. After some unpleasant first impressions in the jail cell, the group learned what their fate would be. Veronica, the captain of the guard, was to take them on a job as payment for their crimes. It was scary at first, as all seven of them were loaded into a carriage covered in darkness and taken to an unknown location. But it was made clear to them on arrival that this job would not only be fairly easy, but that Veronica was on their side. She wanted you to get this task done as a formality, but then would be going much easier on the five of you than she would be on the two criminals. You arrived at the home of a wealthy dwarf, Boria Skiltgraver, and were taken to clearing out the mole rat disturbance from his basement, while the cultist and the serial killer were sent, of all places, to clean out his kitchen. The five worked together for the first time to fight giant naked mole rats, and actually made quite a team. But things got more complicated when the group discovered a broken grate in the basement that led to a network of rodent tunnels. The group agreed, some more begrudgingly than others, to investigate this oddity further in order to receive additional payment. Veronica lowered the group down by rope, but something else happened in the home, likely at the hands of the other two prisoners, and she had to book it. Left together at the bottom of the grate, the five of them found themselves within a natural mushroom grove. They had no choice but to work together to get out. Furthermore, their detour seems to be leading them towards some more oddities, as they discovered that this is an underground network occupied by cultists like Daku, looking for the sphere and to bring the darkness. Well, each one of them have their own personal agendas, and some of them want to leave this group as soon as possible. It seems their time together and the mysteries that are destined to unearth are only beginning. So, with that, a little bit of a scene change here. Back to the cave map. Or, well, no, we're going to go to cave art here. Right, we don't need that map. So, all of you, having just come out of your short rest, Ashima having been talked to this cultist about the Tongwu path and trying to at least inform him, but him just seeming stubborn to a degree, but not aggressive. Just meeting your general shoulder shrugginess with more. But the exact opposite of what the Tongwu path talks about. So, as all of you are coming out of your short rest, you can hear skittering and scattering in the tunnels all around you. It seems as though nothing is coming to pursue you, but I'd like to ask all of you, what would you like to do?
I want to Poe. I guess I would like to get my sword out and be on the ready just in case, and keep a wisdom-filled watch out.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check for me. I like all this alliteration off the beginning. It's a requirement for the rest of the session. Okay, so an 11.
Start with one.
All right, Poe, you try and focus as much as you can, but every once in a while you hear something behind you, more skittering, and you twist and look, and there's nothing there, and you hear it again, and you're too sporadic to really keep a good eye on anything right now.
Does it sound like these things are like coming close, or are they kind of just like in the tunnels around us, moving around?
It more sounds like they're in the tunnels around you. You don't see any coming out of the holes, so that's probably a good sign, but sometimes you're not sure if it's scraping or if it's just rushing water. It seems like the two kind of go hand in hand together to disguise the other.
Kind of freaked out. Poe is just going to have his sword and pointing it in different holes, walking around, just making sure he's ready. That's all he's going to do for now.
Cecily has just finished her Dastardly Dark One disguise alliteration. So I'm gonna put it on. How's it look? Is there any way I can check myself in a mushroom mirror? Is there anything?
There's a river. Yeah, you can check yourself in the reflection of the water. Do you want to drop that feature in the chat real quick? So I think you just created. I don't think there's a check or anything. And I think it just gives you advantage on deception checks against them, or...
Yeah, so I'll drop... It's whatever the description of the disguise kit is.
Oh, okay, so let me look that up real quick.
I think I'll be able to... Yeah, I don't know if it's going to let me...
Yeah, here.
Yeah, there's like a table for it. Yeah, Joe will find it. I just remember from when I played Kokomi.
Let you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to create a visual disguise. Oh, okay. So, I'd like you to make a deception check for me, and if you already have proficiency in deception, you'll just add your modifier again if you had expertise.
Okay. So it's 5 already. So I'll just do roll d20 plus 7.
Yeah.
For you. Cool.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay. Every once in a while, as you're making it throughout the short rest, you go back to the cultist, and you just take a look, and you take a couple of mental notes. You go back, you do a little bit of work, you have a little pair of scissors, and you end up doing just a little bit of hand sewing. And by the end of it, you really do have quite the disguise. The only thing you're missing is that sort of black face paint that they have on their forehead and around their eyes. But easy enough, you find some mud, and you even have a little bit of black pigment in your disguise kit, and you're able to dye it and rub it on your forehead and on the tops of your cheeks, and you have got quite the disguise going. In fact, Poe, as you're sort of erratically looking around, you see Cecily, and you're just about to swing and charge at her, but then you realize that, oh no, this person is small and has blonde hair. That is Cecily, not a cultist.
Actually turned out quite good.
All right, so pretty convincing. Yeah. So one of you want to kind of just back me up a little bit? I could go spy on them, see what's going on.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll back you up.
Are we talking like sneaking around, or are you just walking up as a dark one?
A little bit of both. If I get caught, I'll play it off.
We could all back you up.
Oh, certainly, but I think that Desmond, you've certainly proved to be the most nimble-footed. I mean, out of all of us, save for Cecily.
Wow. Well, if you ask me, I am the most. So I'll go with you, Cecily.
All right, cool, thanks.
Just
keep
don't
going.
end up in a jail cell again. You too.
Well, I'm sure these people will just fucking kill us. So, and I'm gonna just go ahead and I'll move forward, and I'll get in the Elder Scrolls crouch position, and just now I'm perfectly quiet, as
Okay.
I'm walking with my gravity and weight lower to the ground. I become quieter. Anyway.
So, did you want to head like northward where those other two cultists had went, or do you want to head to the west where it seemed like he was trying to run to?
I'll go north first.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm following behind her.
Okay. So I'd like both of you to make stealth checks for me, real quick.
Who?
Oh, nice.
Oof.
Okay.
I'm twice as stealthy as you are. That proves it.
Yeah, you're right.
So, as the two of you are making your way through, Desmond, you are definitely sticking to the shadows. Cecily, your disguise is sort of getting you, you're feeling pretty good about your disguise. And you're moving along, and you kind of end up going from crouching to really just more kind of like a little bit of a shorter squat as you're just kind of moving along. You're like, well, if anybody sees me, it's not going to be a big deal. And then you hear somebody go, "Stop!" And you look around, and Cecily, you see no one. But Desmond, hanging back a little bit, it doesn't seem like anybody has clocked you yet.
I'm gonna make myself small and stick to the shadows and some crevices to try to stick away from everything.
Okay. So, Cecily, there's a moment where you sort of stand and look around, and as almost like peeling a sticker off of a piece of paper, you can see somebody emerge from the shadow, as the shadow kind of has to be pulled away from them as they just emerge. And you recognize one of the two from earlier that had left. And they say, "I do not recognize you. Who are you?"
Well, I've been recently converted, so I don't think I've met many of you yet. You guys know Daku? You heard of Daku?
Yes, I know Doku.
Yeah, well, he just started talking to me about the darkness and stuff, and it was like real fucking cool. So I just decided to.
You see him look behind his shoulder into the darkness. Look back to you. Daku, do you know this one? And emerging from the shadows, you see Daku.
Fuck.
Standing up straight in his robes, and you can see that as he emerges from the shadows, he is just covered in blood. Just drenched in it. And he looks at you and smiles. Sister Cecily, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you took my words to heart. He just smiles at you.
Yeah. Can I? So, is there a way that I can read if he's? Does he actually think that he? I don't even know how to ask this, but like, does he actually think that I've been converted? Because clearly he knows me. But
yes. Yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
If he legitimately knows you.
Just get him out of the way early.
Thanks for your confidence, Bo. Wow, it's the day of 11s.
He just. Oh yeah, that's weird.
Wow, that's very.
It's a
I'm
lucky
writing that down.
He just seems happy.
Okay.
And it just really seems like he's legitimately happy to see you. And
all right.
You study him for a moment, and he takes a few steps closer, and he has his hands up, which you can see are also drenched in blood.
Mm-hmm.
Cecily, I'm just so happy to see you. I don't want you to think that I have any ill intent for you. Trust me. I know how you feel. More than you think I do. And I just want you to know that I have no hard feelings for what you did earlier. You did what you had to protect yourself. Something that the mother would understand.
Right. So since I'm new, who's the mother?
Oh, well, if you'd like, words cannot do her justice. If you and I'm assuming the rest of your companions made it as well, I'd love for you to meet her.
Okay. Where is she?
Oh, she is deep below the mountain.
Okay.
If you'd like, I feel that one of my brothers still lives. May I see him?
Tell you what. How about you don't see anything anymore? I'm gonna cast color spray on all of them. And I'm going to fucking book it as soon as I do.
Okay, go ahead and drop color spray in the chat for me.
Cool. Wait, how do you give me that? Oh god.
I popped it over and it says Felicity. Oh wow.
Boom. Alrighty.
Starts with the lowest.
Yeah, it's like sleep.
Okay.
But it's a 15-foot cone, so if I can get all of them, I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 5 feet away from you. I mean, you're not sure how many are there, but yeah, go ahead and roll your 60-10.
Alrighty. Ooh, looks like 3 cultists to me. Boom.
So... oh god, math is hard. Math is hard. Pull up a calculator. Oh! Sorry, my calculator. Oh my god. Okay, so you see the one that was standing out who shouted at you falls limp on the or you can hear them start going, Daku, I can't see. And you can hear another one fumbling in the darkness. What is happening? Daku, Daku, what is happening? And Daku just looks at you. His eyes still clear. The spray of color is still emanating around him. Cecily. Oh, wait, you ran away, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can say that. I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so you run, dart,
Oh,
back to the group?
Yeah. I'm just gonna run back to home base, and then hopefully Desmond will do something.
Okay, you're feeling afraid, right?
Yes.
So as you're
Absolutely.
running away, he says, I know you feel afraid, but there is nothing to fear. And just slowly begins to walk, following after where you were. So Desmond, what are you doing? You saw her spray colors and then run right past you. Boom, she's gone.
I guess I run after when I see that she pops up and sprays. I'm going to, since I had my slingshot, might as well. One of the people who got blinded, I'm just gonna
Okay,
send
all right. Go ahead
a
and
rock away.
make an attack with advantage. Since they're blinded. Ooh, all right. Roll that
Nice.
damage.
Does he get sneak attack? Because they didn't
Yes,
know.
you would. So you
Jeez.
peel it back, you fling it, and the one who was yelling, the second one who came out, Daku, I cannot see. Daku, what is? And just right in between, like right at the nose, it slams in, nose bone into the brain. She slams it back against the wall and just slides down limp onto the ground. And the following, like the trajectory of this, the pebble, Daku looks at you. Brother Desmond, it's such a pleasure to see you.
And I'm gonna take off after Cecily.
Okay, so you, boom, run, gone. And you can hear him just slowly,
I'm
you can just
putting jokes in the chat while Joe's narrating.
you can hear the bare footfalls just on the ground that as he's just slowly walking as you run away. The three of you, as you're sitting there with the cultist, as he just says, eventually the darkness will be here. Ashima,
Okay.
you cannot wait to see it. It is truly a majesty. And as soon as he finishes that statement, you see Cecily and then Desmond run out of the darkness of the cave.
I don't suppose that's the darkness, is it, friend?
No, it comes after.
Gotcha. Well,
It might be coming. You guys remember the guy named Daku?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucking wants to kill us, I think, is what's happening.
You know, I don't think he wants to kill us, but I think what he wants to do is worse.
You saw Daku?
I did. He's
well, if
looking-
our tied-up friend is to be believed, he is in pursuit of you now.
It sounded like he was on his way after us.
So can we kill this guy and run?
I'd prefer if you didn't.
I mean, where are we going to run to?
Away? I don't know.
Well,
Listen,
so
it's a matter of seconds. We need to make our stand here. Or run,
also,
whichever.
I believe it was Daku and two others. I killed one of them. I don't know if you saw that, Cecily, but I killed one of them, I think.
Yeah, cool. Wasn't looking.
And so I think there's only 2, maybe 3 others that'll be coming this way.
Eventually, at that point, as you say that, you hear Daku's voice come out of the darkness. I mean no harm, just please. Listen. I will emerge from the darkness alone. No one else is with me, aside from my brother who's tied up to the mushroom.
I'm gonna
Bowley.
ask the mushroom. What did you say his name was?
Bowley.
Okay, I'm gonna
B-A-U-L-I.
lean over to Bowley and ask, does he mean us harm?
No. Brother Daku, Seer Daku, cannot hurt anyone. Unless they mean to obstruct the darkness.
Okay.
Well, that's not bad advice.
Does it look like the blood on him is his blood or somebody else's blood?
That's what I was about to.
The way that it splattered, it definitely looks like it's somebody else's. Like, it looked like something, like, was stabbed and blood splatter on him, just in, like, crisscross patterns all across his body and face.
He meant somebody harm.
Yeah, so Daku, whose blood is that would challenge the dark?
Oh, yes. It was so sad. Those poor gods. I could see their families, their husbands and wives in their eyes. I tried to show them the true path. But sadly they would not listen. And, well, I myself could not hurt them, but others' minds are easily influenced. All I want is to speak with you.
Okay. Well, you're speaking now. You can speak.
Do I have permission to get closer?
No.
No. We can hear you.
Of course.
Practicing a little non-attachment if you just want to.
Of course, of course. Would you at least mind loosening the coils on my brother?
No, we won't hurt him. We haven't yet. So
You
you
see-
shouldn't worry.
See, I'm not dumb. I know that I don't want him dead, and you don't want him dead. And if we let him go, you're gonna do something. He's gonna attack us, which is what you just said. And I'm really trying to get the net amount of people out of here alive. So
Surely you can understand our distrust.
Of course. Of course. I can see the distrust in all of you, and I'd like to turn that into love. If at all possible.
see, now you're speaking my language.
Yes. Of course. So, I want to offer all of you a deal. A small one. Simple. You all do not belong here. Simple as that. Most people do not belong here. But I know the way out. Back to home, for you at least. Above ground and in the light. If you would like, I'd love to take you there. As you being here, you... Looking down at the corpses on the ground and his brother tied up. You disturb things that happen. But, if you are at all interested, I would love to take you to meet Mother. Mother has a way of helping those in need. Those looking for someone. Looking at you, Cecily, and Desmond, and Poe. Helping you find your way in a chaotic world. Finding excitement. Looking at you, Bianca. And then helping you find your path. Whatever that may mean. The best part is, Ishima, Mother can speak. No more guessing. But she's not for everyone, as much as I do love her so. I understand apprehension. Yes. But I would love if you would try.
I don't know why I should trust you at all.
Sister Cecily, it's simple. Because if I wanted you to die, I could have done it already.
Wow, a real stand-up person.
Thank you, Brother Desmond. It's odd, you are incredibly clear to me right now. There is so much pain. It makes me sad. The mother helps with pain. Those who become her children, pain means nothing to them anymore. The only pain you feel is too much light.
Okay. That is a rather fine deal, but like any deal, we need to know all of our options. And what if some of us do not want to accept your deal? What happens to them?
Of course. As it happens, most of us grow up being afraid of the dark. We wish not to see it. We wish to stay in the light for as long as possible. I could not blame you. I was once that way too. From the Summer Mist Isles, I grew up in sunlight and fire. But if the darkness is not what you want, you all at least have helped me in one way. And because you've helped, I will at least repay the kindness. And escort you out of these tunnels. And all I want in return, to make it worth my while, I just want something to remember you by. That's all.
Does he seem genuine about wanting to actually escort us out of here? Like, does it seem like...
Make an insight check.
Where the insight? There it is. Oh no, wisdom is low.
Okay.
Day of 11s.
I have 11.
So the weird thing about Daku, and you've been watching him for a while, clocking the things that he's been saying, and it's weird. It's almost like he's letting you know when he's lying. And it's weird, where it's even not being very good at reading people for information. You know that when he was telling you about being from the Summer Mist Isles, being born in fire and light, that he was lying. You know that when he was talking about wanting something to remember you by, that he was lying. But everything else he said was true. At least as far as you can tell, because it was so easy to tell when he was lying. Well, all right,
nice.
back.
Ooh.
Welcome home.
Ashim's gonna turn to everyone. I'm not sure what you all are thinking. I don't know how you worship, if you do, but I can tell you right now the only path that you need is inside of you. And that sounds really cliche and probably corny to you all, but I'm telling you that if you go with this guy in any way, in any capacity, you're not going to see the light again.
Okay,
If it's
so
any
fuck it.
consolation, Ashima, I thought it was rather poetic.
Just fuck all this, okay? Just let me go. Just let me walk away and sort this out myself. I don't want to go with any of you.
I don't think he's going to let that be an option anymore.
Fucking sick. I'm so sick of all of you. All of you new people just plopped into my life And now I gotta deal with... God. Almost be better to just be starving down here alone. You all fucking suck that much. Jesus. Alright, look, I'll just... go off on my own. Okay, Daku, whatever your real name is, I don't know if that's a cult thing or... Look, just let me walk off and be on my own, and this is all over, okay?
Cecily, we both know that there's more that you want than to starve in a cave by yourself. And all I want is what you want. So, I'm sorry, I just can't do that. I hope
What do
you
you
understand and forgive me.
What do you think I want?
And he smiles at you, and you can feel almost like a tether between the two of you. Oh, yes. I know you want to find someone. Someone who you thought didn't exist. Oh, yes. Ah, now I see I have your attention. You see, Cecily, and you can see all of your companions kind of like
How are you
in
doing?
stasis around you as he just kind of freely moves. I am a seer. The purpose I serve to Mother is I see people. Good people, bad people. People who serve the light and people who serve the darkness. I see who they are. I see what they want. Because at the end of the day, all the Mother wants is to get you what you want. And you can see him almost like he got like pierced or something, because he just sort of grabs his chest, and then after a moment you disconnect from one another, and he's still standing in the same place that he was, and you can see Cecily just kind of staring at him, and he smiles at the rest of you. So if you all would like to just leave and I could show you the way out, that's fine. After all, I'm sure it won't be too hard to find a bronze dragonborn, a purple tiefling, a 15, going on 16-year-old girl, a water genasi, and a halfling of a great master. You all make it very easy to find. So, my feelings are not hurt either way. I just want you to be confident in the decision you've made.
What did you do to the kid?
The kid? Oh, Sister Cecilia. We just spoke.
But what did you do?
Well, I communed with her.
Cecily? Cecily!
Let's just go. Let's just get out.
I personally don't want to tether myself to any other dark beings. I already have enough of that.
Yes,
So-
I know. Yes.
I would, if you are going to escort us out, that's my option. I'd like that one.
And I assume you know a lot about us already from some weird way with the darkness. But you know I don't want anything complicated. My goal is very simple, and I just want to return home. So I think I'll take that option as well.
Of course, and Desmond. Brother Desmond, you feel the same way, I'm sure, correct?
Forging my own way ahead.
Of course. Well, I will say it does break my heart. But I understand. Soon enough, night will come. And you'll see what I mean. Well, I am a man of my word. So, if you'd be more than willing to release Bowley, I'd be more than happy to show you the way.
Maybe a little closer to Bowley, and you can't all be serious. Really? This is where you walk away. This is where you give up. It doesn't concern you. Is that what it is? Or don't any of you care? I don't know what happened with you all and that serial killer cannibal whatever, but you're gonna walk away from all of it, all these cultists, all of this. What? So you can live a couple of days, eat a pie, jack off in a corner? That's for what? A day? Until they come up and start butchering people in the night?
What are you suggesting then?
I actually didn't hear you. What did you say?
What are you suggesting then?
I'm suggesting we take a stand.
Ashima, none of us are warriors or that exceptional. The fact that we're alive this far is amazing. I think this is a little bigger than us right now. It's not ignoring it, it's being smart.
You know what? Maybe you all don't understand because most things aren't bigger than you, but as someone who lives in a world where most things are bigger than me, I can tell you right now that you're all full of horse shit. I've never seen a smith as good or a warrior as capable as you, Poe. Bianca, I saw you take down a demon woman on a horse. Cecily, you shot colors that blinded 3 men. And Desmond, I've never seen anyone who has as good a shot with a piece of string and a stick.
Wow.
But if you want to walk away and just let all this happen and die, maybe in a couple of days, when this guy comes and slits our throats in our sleep, so that at least you can die in your sleep and not facing the problems of the world and facing down evil, then go ahead.
You know what, Daku? I think my friend makes a good point. We're not going to let your friend go.
Oh. Well, I understand. Of course. Bowley, I'm sorry. It's your time to leave us. The mother will understand. And he hangs his head low, and you can see his eyes grow wide a little bit. I don't think I want to. No, Bowley, you should. You should. Do it for Mother. And you can see there's this flicker of like gray mist around Daku's eyes that sort of float over towards Bowley as Bowley, his eyes go even wider. You're right. I should. And you see him start to convulse a little and grunt and start to grow almost, but then like collapse in on himself like a balloon being filled and then drained with air over and over and over again, until you see him start to really deflate like into himself, and you see all of the shadows that are around you begin to like crawl like snakes on the ground and begin to like crawl up his legs and on the rope, and they're not cutting through the rope at all. They're just moving up and then into his mouth and his eyes, nose, and ears, and just seeping into his skin and you can see him become so gaunt and thin that he slips through the ropes and just begins to shake, almost like he's having a seizure on the ground, and then the skin just begins to crack and rip, and you can see these tendrils begin to sort of leak from his arms, and not just the two arms, they also begin to grow and get hardened. And there are two more, and then eventually two more legs that begin to sprout out until he almost looks like this grotesque spider-like creature with 6 legs and just like tendrils of shadow that are just licking off of it towards all of you, and just it is angry and aggressive. And Daku raises up his hand like so and says, "Stop, Baoli. Come to me." And the spider just moves around towards him. Well, any second thoughts?
Shima? Any second thoughts?
I'll let it be democratic.
I would like to be escorted out of here.
Can I, Daku, can I just ask you a question?
Of course.
Is there any way I can signal to that I want to tether to him again? Is there like a... How do I...
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, the thing is, as soon as you think that you want to do it, you can tell that there is something... It's something inside of what you're wearing right now that causes you to be able to have those connections to him. And Desmond, you can feel that sort of extra strong, like, connection. You're not sure exactly where it's coming from, but Desmond, you have an idea. Cecily, you have no clue. But as soon as you think it, he smiles, and then that tether happens again. And he says, "Yes, what would you like?"
Do you actually know who I am?
Of course I do. You are a poor, not so helpless, there we go, almost forgot, girl who is way out of her league. But, Cecily, there is so much you could learn, this power that you have. I know many. Mother herself could teach you how to channel it, if you're only willing to try.
This is asking a lot, Joe. But
Okay.
can Cecily try very hard to think positive thoughts about Daku and what he's saying in the darkness and all of that, so he's not suspicious of the fact that, I want him... I think she's caught on to the fact that at this point he can basically just read her mind. And he wants to try as much as she can to trick him into thinking that she's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, like coming around on it.
Oh, no, I totally
But
get what you're saying.
she's not at all, so that hopefully...
That would just be a straight deception check.
Okay.
And I'll say, because you're wearing the
I'm
cultist
not
garb,
bad at that.
we'll say that you do the same thing. That D20 plus 7. Or
Ooh,
add your proficiency
okay.
modifier again.
I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because that makes sense to me.
Well, I put S20. That's not going to do anything. There we go. The other ones aren't even going to know what this is for.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing dice.
Okay. All right. So you can see this entire time he's been a little tense. He's been, keeping his guard up just in case. But you can see when you start to push those thoughts deep, deep, deep down, you can see him relax a little bit and his shoulders slump. So, you think it worked? What do you want to do?
I see Ashima's trying to give me a bunch of bravery here. So, I think I want to. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing this so that I have the opportunity to get the jump on him. If I need to. So I don't know if I want to do anything yet, but if things start going south, I want to approach him calmly, and then I want to shocking grasp his face.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So as you're, so he's been talking for a little bit. You push those other thoughts deep down. You see him sort of begin to welcome you a little bit more. What are you doing?
for now, I'm just gonna say,
Well, whatever the others want, I think I need to know more about who I am. Okay. And I'll will for him to let go of the tether.
Okay, and you want to be moving closer to him during this time?
Not quite, not yet. It depends on how the rest of this conversation goes with the rest of the group. But if things get shifty, then I certainly will.
Okay, alrighty, cool. So you will for him to let go, and he does.
I was like, I don't want to touch
He
you.
lets go, and all of you can see Cecily sort of relax a little bit, and you can see Daku almost like in film when something skips a frame. You can see him go from a little bit more tense to a little bit more relaxed in that sort of this skipping moment where you don't see it naturally slump. It just goes from one position to the next.
Well, I think whatever we do is up to all of you.
I was gonna say, Daku, what'd you do to the kid? But now, kid, what'd you do to the Daku?
Look, Ashima, right? I think that's your name. I mean, I've heard it a few times, but look, I know you don't have much reason to trust me yet, and I certainly don't trust any of you, but whatever decision you want to make, just trust me.
Okay. What do you think we should do? You got a good head on your shoulders.
Now, okay, now it's a next level lie. Can I? this is getting hard. Can I communicate to Ashima without breaking my trust with Daku that I aim to thwart Daku? I need to. I think I want to say something to Ashima along the lines of, like along the lines of, I think we should trust him and go with him, but somehow send the signal to Ashima that I don't actually mean that.
I trust you.
Okay.
If you were just to say that, I trust you.
Yeah, but I don't. Ooh. Okay.
Here's what we'll do. Because this is difficult,
Yeah.
Cecily, what you're going to do is, in order to convey that, because it's really hard to think of that to improvise right now, so you make a deception check to deceive Daku. Ashima and Daku will both make insight checks. Your goal here is that Ashima succeeds and Daku fails.
Okay.
But if it's the other way around, the whole house of cards comes tumbling down.
Oh.
Oh shit, son.
I have a very high wisdom.
Lord.
Did I lie too well? Oh,
Okay, no. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I was going to say don't add the 7 again. Just add the 5.
Well, but still.
Okay. So, you say that, and Ashima, you don't get the subtext. But also, Daku still seems relaxed.
Okay. So now, then Ashima just truthfully believes that we should go with him and get out of here. Cool.
Okay.
Can I reach into my pocket or my satchel or whatever and just like rub my thumb along the idol that I picked up? Do I I don't know.
Well, as you do, you kind of feel that almost like a squid's tentacle sort of wrapping around your thumb.
Uh-huh.
No.
Ew, yuck.
No.
What? Can I focus in on the heartbeat of the ring? I just want to know how the ring is feeling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's cool shit.
Okay. Make an insight check for me.
Nice. Oh, I didn't get it.
That's okay. We'll just
Both
take
are
the 6
bad.
because that was the first one. The ring is going at the same heartbeat as yours. It's just a little off. So it's almost on the off beat.
Oh, so okay, so it's the same speed, but they're okay.
Yeah.
I see. So, did Cecily say that we should go with him to see the darkness, or go with him to have him lead us out?
Second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what Cecily and Ashima think, I'm not feeling, up to my feeling so hot. So, if we want to head out, I can live with that.
I just want to get everyone out of here alive.
Poe is just going to look at Ashima for the right answer. He's the oldest one here.
I think the most important thing, I guess, is getting everyone out of here alive. Navigating these things is hard when you don't have time to reflect on them. And the sacred texts tell us to focus on preserving the life that's in front of us in these times.
I'm going to nod and look back at Daku.
Any business that I have with these people or Daku or anything else will be up to me. After everyone else is seen out.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Okay.
But I'm saying that I want to see that you guys are safe first, and then I'll go on a suicide mission or something.
All right. So we have an accord. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Seems so.
Very good. Well, I will show you the way out. And then I will bid you farewell. And if all of you get what you want, you will not see me for a very, very long time. And it will break my heart, but after all, I just want to make you happy. All right. Bowley, and the giant, weird, like scaly, crusty spider just turns towards him, creaking and cracking. And he sort of pats it on what would be like the cheek. Now you return home, all right? I'll be there soon. Okay? Yes. Good, Bowley, and scratches underneath the chin like it's a dog. And the spider is bigger than the naked mole rats. I mean, it is maybe like 10 feet long, 10 feet wide. It's huge. It's not just like a little baby spider. It is absolutely humongous. And the spider just sort of scuttles off down that one corridor that Bowley was originally trying to get to, and just sort of disappears into the darkness, but you can still hear that scraping and scrapping, that
As it scuttles away. Oh, sorry.
as it's moving
As it
through
scuttles,
the hallway.
as it's going away, I just want to quietly say to it, "I'm sorry this happened to you."
Alrighty. So, Daku looks to all of you. Please, follow me. I promise you, the darkness won't bite. This time. It's a little joke. All of you enjoy humor, yes? That's what I picked up on.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Thank you, Poe. Follow me. And just continues to walk slowly down the dark corridor, and almost like Moses parting the Red Sea, the shadows around you just sort of peel away for Daku to walk through as you all follow behind him. And then it's like you're almost in like your own little bubble of light in this area. You continue to walk for a while. Maybe 20, 30 minutes. And he really says nothing to any of you. And I doubt any of you are wanting to start a conversation with this weirdo.
Does he have like a satchel or pockets?
Nope, nothing. He is...
I don't think that's the time.
It's always the time.
Holy
No, he has nothing. All he has is... and you're just not... There was a lot happening, and you didn't catch it before, but he has a necklace. And on that necklace, there are... two things. For one, there is an idol, a lot like the one you have. But then there is also what almost looks more like a pendant. And it is... let me see. Let me just make sure that's right. It is very similar to the... Yeah, okay. It's very similar to the air nomad symbol from Avatar, except instead of it being 3 separate swirls, all of the swirls are connected on the exterior.
There can only be one Eastern-inspired character here.
But those 3 swirls, it's like a golden material. You're not sure if it's like fake gold or real gold, but it definitely has a little bit of a shimmer to it when like the mushroom light catches it. Gives a little bit of a sparkle. Okay, so you catch that and you just begin walking. You walk for a while. And after about an hour, going through this absolute maze of hand-carved caves, heading left, then right, then left, then straight, then down, then up, then left, then right. Just this complete labyrinth of caves. Eventually, you get to a larger opening, and you can see a ravine out in front of you with a small, very thin stone bridge that goes on for about 100 feet to get to the other end. And there's a passageway that heads down to the left before the bridge. And Daku says, well, you've made it. If you head across that bridge and to the right, you'll make your way back to civilization. I will be stopping here and heading down deeper. But if you ever miss me, you know where to find me. And I have a feeling I'll know where to find you. All right. Well, goodbye. And I want all of you to know, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I will miss you so much. All right. Goodbye. And as he turns and takes a few steps, as he, like, his foot goes through that like, almost as thick as water darkness, he just, as soon as his foot goes through, like, the threshold of that cave, he's just gone. Consumed by it. And you can still hear his footsteps, one after the other, until you hear them no more. You see the ravine out in front of you, the stone bridge extending 100 feet to the other side, and to hopefully Summer's Rest. And with that, we're going to take a break right there, because I need to pee so bad. Oh my god.
Go.
I'm going to go get lasagna.
I think I might go get a slice of pizza and another drink.
All right, fine. If we're all eating, I'm gonna go get something.
Go nap.
I'll stay here. Hi, audience. This is the part of the show where I talk to you about your feelings. How are you today? Excellent. Not necessarily excellent of how you're feeling, but it's good that you're willing to share your emotions. Sometimes, this is the part of the show where I talk to them about their emotions, because I'm the only person on screen. Sometimes, emotions can be like a bag full of things, good and bad. Sometimes, they're things that you like. Sometimes there's things that you not. I often find that it's okay to ask for help either way. Sometimes I've got a bag full of things that I like, watercolor paints and fine incense, things like that make me happy. And it doesn't mean they're not heavy. You still want to share them. Sometimes there are things that are a little heavier, big iron weights, and you need someone to share the load. Know that it's always okay to share your load with other people. Your baggage, that's the word. Shut up, Mark. What kind of baggage have you been carrying? Well, that's a lot to carry. And for our first guest on this portion of the show, I'd like to invite the DM to talk to you all for a minute.
Oh yes, hello. Thank you. It's so nice to
Joe,
be here.
welcome to the part of the show where I talk to the audience about their feelings, because I'm the only one still here.
Oh, cool. Well, awesome. It's great to be on the show. I've been a long time listener, first time caller, so it's really awesome to finally have a chance to be on here.
We were just talking with the viewers, and I, rather, about the things we carry with us throughout the day, our baggage. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
But we can always use a friend to help us carry that baggage or share with it. Is there any baggage that you'd like to share with us? We'd love to help you carry the load.
Yeah. So, one thing that I carry with me daily, right, is the pressure that goes along with DMing. It's something that is constant with me, not only in the game but also outside of the game, right? Because I play D&D so much, it's just I'm always afraid of screwing up or saying the wrong thing or not giving the NPC the right voice or things like that. That's been most of my day-to-day baggage so far.
Hi, Evan. Welcome to the part of the show where we talk about our feelings.
Sad boy hour?
Well, no. We're talking about good things and bad things. Just things that we feel like we need help sharing. Now, Joe's just shared about some of the baggage that he carries through the day, and we'll get back to him in just one moment. But as we're sort of distributing our feelings around and helping each other carry that weight, is there anything that you'd like to share with us in the audience today?
I think I'd have to listen a little bit to see what kind of things people are sharing.
And that's perfectly fine. I often find that when I'm stressed out or anxious, I sometimes don't even know the reason. I just feel anxious. Mindfulness is a very good tool to identifying what's making us anxious. Now, audience, I wish I could hear what your baggage was this week. But just know that you have a friend in me helping you carry that all the way. Let's go back to Joe real quick. So Joe talked
yes,
about...
hello. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. We call the line. Hello? Yeah. So Joe, you talked about the stresses of being a little more comfortable here. And audience, you can take a minute to get a little more comfortable here. Maybe your shoulders are riding a little high. Let's all just take a deep breath in. Hold it for a couple seconds, and then let it out. Just feel that cough vomiting out of your body.
I accidentally breathed in a piece of pizza.
Oh, well, as you know, audience, you cannot inhale pizza, only oxygen, and carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. But those other two things are very bad for you, and you shouldn't breathe those. So Joe was talking about some of his the stressors, and I think it's great that he has the mindfulness to recognize that. What do you, since we have a little more of an audience, responsive one, and go ahead and type your in the comments as well what you think about this too. But so studio audience, what do you think Joe can do to sort of is there anything we can do for him rather? Because Joe's his own self-actualized and confident person.
Thank you.
But is there anything we can do for him to help him with that anxiety?
If I had to tell Joe something to make him feel better, I would tell him, be happy.
Yeah.
Be happy. Be happy.
I've never thought of that before. That's
Yeah, have you tried that?
I'm sorry.
It's really nice.
Mark, Cameron, not knowing the context of this at all, what would you guys say to Joe?
Well, to quote something that should be quoted all the time, I think Joe needs to be better. I can't do it right, but
Yeah. No,
a man creates.
no, I get it.
Thank you.
But no, on the other hand, Joe, you're all right, boy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mark, is there anything you'd like to share? With,
Well, it can sometimes be hard to help someone when you're in need of help yourself.
Self-care is important.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I would just let Joe know that I am there for him, and I will always be a supportive friend and a shoulder to cry on. But I have to admit, I would be more able to help him other days than this day, because today I've had many of my own personal woes to deal with.
Whoa.
I find often that helping others is a great way to
Help yourself.
help yourself, right? Yeah, Evan's a longtime listener. He knows it. He knows our slogan here at the Emotion Hour on the breaks. But there is validity to what Mark's saying as well. That sometimes you need to make sure your house is in order before going out. It's just knowing that and being
You can't
mindful.
be Dwayne Johnson all the time.
You can't. Even he has his off days. I would say to you, Joe.
Clean his room. Keep his room clean.
Yeah, I would say to you, Joe, that I'm having a great time. I always do, and
Oh, sorry.
I think, and I believe the audience will agree that we greatly enjoy this. And I think that whatever you're giving us, we're in for it.
Oh.
Yes. Joe, if you get stressed out about D&D, I just want you to know
Popcorn.
it may go without saying.
Very good. I'm not allowed to eat it because diverticulosis, but pretty good.
The labor that you put in to making a great session helps all of us to escape reality and go into a fantasy where we can be heroes and see your world, and that's just awesome. That's a craft that you have and that you've mastered, in my opinion, and it's always a blessing to partake.
Well, thank
Excellent.
you.
I love what Evan said there, and I think we should all really breathe that in. And I'm going to add on it by saying, yeah, Joe, I mean, you give us all an opportunity to feel like heroes. And in that way, you yourself are a real hero.
Oh, thank you.
And I know I'm not putting on a voice for that, but I am being serious about that.
I know. I was going to say, I know I was kind of sounding in a voice, but I really did mean that, like 100%.
Now that I have a little bit more of the context of the conversation, one, I'm sorry for telling you to be better.
No, it was really fun.
But
Two,
two,
it's over. It's too late.
I never feel cooler than I do, like playing this game with you guys, except for looking at this thing that's on the screen, because I do not feel cool looking at that.
Yeah, that's what Bowley turned into.
Yeah, I hate that, Joe.
You want to hate it more?
Wait, I don't see it. Oh, fuck!
But
remember that sometimes it's okay to share your feelings in expletive form. That can be very helpful. Jesus H. Fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Once again, sorry for swearing. All right, I think that's all the time we have for today, since everyone's back and eating. Thank you again for enjoying the Mindful Minute break. The name for this segment has changed 4 times, so just know that you can also change. All right. We'll see you all next time.
You have 30 more seconds because I need to refill my water.
All right. So right now what's going to happen is I'm just going to zoom out, and Joe is going to edit credits onto my face for the video. And so I'm just going to pantomime talking like it's a talk show. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
My arms can't go further.
Here, just hand me your laptop.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Catch it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Excellent.
Now is when all of the massive amount of fan art that exists of our characters in our campaign, they're going to be scrolling through because we're that famous and we're practically Critical Role.
We should
all those.
In advance, there's an upset dog outside of my door because she wants my food. So that bark was louder than normal.
I'm trying to get around this burnt crust. I messed up my pizza.
Oh no.
That's the worst. Oh, the pizza looks so good. Then you lift it up and you're like, shit.
Ew.
Yes, ew.
All right, in a very Ashima fashion, I'm just going to keep doing the Mindful Minute every time everybody gets up and leaves.
Connor, when do you start work? Or did you already start?
Last week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you now. I'm all remote now. I'm still going in for like professional development stuff, but
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you've had classes online?
Oh no, not yet. No, that's we're gonna start those 17th.
Have you started teaching?
Oh yeah, not yet.
That's in person though at first, right?
No, we're not going to be doing that till October.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of shocking.
Why October at the beginning of flu season?
Because they haven't fully thought this through, and it's nobody's fault. I mean,
Everyone's trying to do the right thing.
yeah, nobody knows what it's going to be like in October, and we all want to believe that we'll be in person at some point.
Hello?
semester.
Was I muted?
Yep.
Good. All right.
What did you say?
Nothing. I have baby carrots now. Okay. Wait, let me get a good
Were you saying rude things about us after Mindful Minute?
No. I was just talking more about how bad I had to pee during the during that moment. I was getting a little expletive, and I was just making sure that that was not caught on camera.
Do you hear my chair?
That's a little too candid, camera.
Alright. So, let me. Sorry, this baby carrot's giving me a lot of trouble right now. Okay. All right. Are we all ready to hop back in?
I was
Yep.
just gonna make a pun, but I won't do that.
You can if you'd like.
Are you ready?
No,
Ooh.
the time has passed.
Okay. All right. So, with that, popping back in, all of you, after one heck of an encounter with the cultist Daku, who, a part of the cult of the Dark One, you only having a couple of idols and an outfit, you really don't know much more aside from that, just wanting to find the sphere and wanting to collect the darkness. But now you're not even sure how important the sphere is because Daku didn't bring it up at all when you were talking to him. But regardless, you all are making your way, and you've made your way now after seeing Baoli, this normal humanoid, turn into a giant, scaled, spiky spider that was about the size of a Mini Cooper, sort of grow out of a corpse, and then walk over, so obedient to Daku, and then move away from Daku at Daku's command, and you all were just confused. But you at least have a little bit more certainty now, as you at least, provided Daku was being honest.
Yeah, I really hope that he was being honest.
I said I'd stop putting jokes in the chat while Joe's narrating, and I promise I will this time. This time for realties.
So, anyway, you make your way through the caverns, and Daku departs, and it seems as though he is really heartbroken over having to separate from the five of you. But he does what you requested. He disappears into the darkness, and now you have a bridge over a ravine that will apparently lead you to where you want to go. So, with that, what do all of you want to do?
I gotta even charge it real quick, so I'm still here.
We do trust him, right?
No, not really. But
Nah.
Let me talk about it when we get out of here.
good idea.
Not exactly sure what happened to Sicily, but is this actually the right way out?
Let's hope so.
Did anybody else want to go for a drink? I know I could use one.
Yeah, actually.
I could really use a drink, but do you guys think we should check on Veronica when we get out?
We need to figure out where we are actually when we get out anyway. It's really hard.
I mean, we didn't even know where we were to begin with, so I don't know how we could check on Veronica at all.
Right.
Well,
Because we were, Joe, we were like blindfolded, right? Or had bags over our head when we were being taken to that house.
Yeah.
So
It's-
we don't have any clue where we are.
that's true.
No.
It's dark, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah, right now it's actually over the ravine. You can see light coming from the interior of the ravine.
All right. I'll start taking a few steps forward. I'll lead the way and kind of be careful on my steps to make sure that nothing's afoot, except for my.
You have 2 feet.
Thanks,
It's
Connor.
just 'cause you're not putting them in the chat means you can say them out loud now, Connor.
That's exactly what it means. Joe's not narrating.
So, all of you, change that right now. So, all of you make your way, Poe specifically, make your way across and, well, begin to step forward to look down deeper into the ravine. And this is pretty much what you see. Are you there now? Ba, ba, ba. This is what you see.
Ooh.
You see interconnected doorways and what almost look like buildings, like in the center of the ravine. Different stone pathways connecting them, torches lit, and like a river of lava that just sort of flows down, maybe 600-700 feet below you. It is a long, long way down.
Man.
And Poe, as you're looking out, you can see that there are small conflicts happening, where you can see people dressed like Daku fighting these people who are wearing like rough spun linen clothes with pickaxes and firearms. And you see one bridge in particular where there's one of those giant spiders that Bowley had turned into, and you see what looks to be like a gnomish woman who like has a flint and steel and a barrel in front of her, and she just lights like a wick on it and pushes it towards the spider, and as soon as it rolls up to the spider, the barrel must have been like a barrel of black powder, explodes, sending the spider flying up and then falling down those 600 feet towards the lava, and it slams, causing the lava to like explode up as the spider gives out this terrifying yell, this scream, this high-pitched noise as it slowly begins to melt away into the lava. And that bridge is just destroyed, and you can hear the different miners saying, retreat, fall back. But then you can see every once in a while that the miners are winning, whether it be a well-placed pickaxe hit or another barrel of explosive materials. They keep winning in one way, shape, or form. The cultists are pushed back. They go back into the caverns, and then the weirdest part is, even after that conflict, you see some of the miners, they pull bodies off to the side, and then they go back to work. The conflict's over, and they just continue to mine. You watch that happen, those conflicts happen, and it only takes 30 seconds, really, for that huge amount of chaos to happen, and then calm back down, and then after about a minute, you hear a bell. Ding, 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 ding. And they continue to work. It doesn't seem like they stopped working for it, but it was a bell that really rung out quite loud, and they continue to work even after such a bloody conflict, apparently. So, seeing that, what would you like to do?
What the
Are you
fuck
guys
is
Wait a second.
seeing this?
Yeah, we're all seeing it, pal. There's not much else to look at right now.
I don't
should
think
go.
we. I don't think we ever
Probably
left.
take his makeup off.
Oh,
I'm gonna maybe try to take my cultist disguise off. Because wow, that'd be bad.
and I'll
I'll do what I can to get all the face paint off too. I'll try to make it blend in with the rest of my urchin dirt.
Yeah, easy enough. Easy enough. You take off the robes, and you were just wearing everything underneath what you normally wear, and
Right.
just sort of scrape off the dirt, throw it on the ground, and you're dirtier, but back to normal at least.
Yeah, usually look this bad anyway. So
Yeah.
Um,
It's only recently that you had to start taking baths daily.
right. But yeah, okay, that's off. I don't think Cecily has any plan of what to do. This is absolute bewilderment. As far as she's concerned, this is just one more room full of chaos in the weirdest day she has ever had in her fucking life. So, if one of y'all wants to take the lead on
Yeah.
this.
Do put it in your inventory, though, that you do now have a Dark One cultist uniform.
Cool. I shall do that.
If I reach into my pocket and grab onto the idol again, does it still feel like there's any type of like anything coming from it? So now that we're outside of the cave, or is it gone now?
No, you still feel that when you grab onto it. That little squid tentacle just kind of wrap around you, and then let go, retract.
Right.
Well, I feel like we should just ask some of the miners where we are. Right?
Bianca, is this the interior of Summer's Rest?
Would I know anything about the interior of Summer's Rest?
Honestly, for most people in Summer's Rest, the exterior, it's kept a pretty close guarded secret what it's actually like. You know that wealthy people who come into town go inside, and they come out a few weeks later. But then you've never actually heard what it looks like.
I guess it might be. I just imagined it a little bit more, less hostile, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, let's, you know.
But that would make sense. I thought we traveled much farther, though. Or maybe we're really deep in the mountain.
Yeah, this is not at all what I expected it to be. To be clear, Joe, that the conflict, was that happening on bridges around us or below us?
Below us, you guys are on the tallest bridge. I think the closest bridge to you is probably around 200 feet. Like below and down.
So that's like way below us that we're seeing this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody kind of
Okay.
looks like ants.
So what's around us right now? Because I'm getting a little...
Nothing. I mean, there is, like I said, the ravine is maybe 100, 200 feet, and this thin stone bridge goes across the entire thing to a small cave entrance. But there's no railing, there's no nothing, and it's big enough where, I mean, you don't have to, like, walk, like, one heel in front of the other, you know? You can walk straight, but you do need to kind of keep an eye on your balance, because anybody with vertigo, it's really bad.
Well, everyone just watch your step. We may find out more about that stuff later, but the entrance is right over here. Or the exit, rather. Okay, I'm going to start walking towards the cave opening, I guess.
Okay.
I'll follow single file so we don't die.
Okay. All right, one by one, single file, I'm assuming. So all of you carefully make your way across, and there's no check necessary. The fact that all of you have higher than 7 dexterity, it's easy enough. It is. For some of you who might be a little bit more afraid of heights, it is terrifying, but you're able to keep your balance with your companions in front of you and just sort of steady yourself moving along, staring at the back of whose ever head is in front of you, and you continue to move. Except as all of you are moving, you didn't really think about it, but you can hear some type of shouting from below you. There's more up there! There's more up there! And in that moment, you sort of look down and you can see more miners grabbing like blunderbusses and rifles and crossbows, and they all just begin to like start firing up towards all of you, shot for shot and bolt for bolt, and they just keep flying up towards you. I would like all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
As it seems as though these miners have mistaken you for merc cultists.
Oh no.
Bianca!
I'm gonna die.
All right, Poe, I need you to make a dexterity save. Shima, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
What happened? I wasn't paying attention.
Well,
They think we're cultists.
yeah, you guys were making your way across, and somebody saw you. And
People that are far away saw us, right? Like they're
yeah, like I said,
They're-
the closest bridge is like 200 feet down.
Yeah. So they just saw 5 people they didn't recognize and were like, ah!
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Okay, so
The old people.
Bianca and Shima, you guys each take 5 points of damage as some of the bullets sort of catch you off guard. Some of the bolts slam into your leg. You don't fall off. You steady yourself. and you're not going anywhere, but you just keep continuing to make your way. And about halfway through, you make your way another halfway there. And we're gonna go ahead and I'd like everybody to make one more set of dexterity saving throws real quick as you are just beginning to now run, making your way across. There we go. There we go. And then Bianca. Dex saving throw again.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're about
My
halfway across.
internet like just cut out.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
It's okay. You're halfway across the bridge right now, and just as you are beginning to run and sprint, making your way across,
There we go. What is it? That's not fantastic.
okay, so,
Can I do anything to help the people who have been hit? Or rolled low? I mean, rolled low, not hit.
well, it is. Well, just
2 successes, 1 failure.
the only 2 people who've been hit were Bianca and Poe. So, let's see.
Wait, what happened to the first time? That's when my internet cut out.
Oh,
Did I get
okay.
hit by something?
Yes, you took 5 points of damage the first time as sort of a stray crossbow bolt scratched across your leg. Other like bullets flew past you, causing you to duck, running out a little bit out of stamina. And then
Well, things are not looking good.
this time, Poe and Bianca, you two are. Bianca, you're hit again, and it's not even like most of them aren't even making contact. It's just that you are on top of this thing, and the stamina that it's draining out of you. You feel the height start to kick in, that vertigo a little bit start to make you go a little dizzy, and the 2 of you take 4 points of damage from those. Cut out again.
Bianca just dives.
I think that's what happened.
I know what I have to do, but I'm not sure if I have the strength to do it. As Poe turns around to Bianca and throws her off.
Shima growls his Wookiee roar and shoots Poe with a crossbow.
Okay, so luckily, I don't think that's enough to kill her, right? She has 12 hit points, 5 plus 4, 9. Okay, so she's got 3 hit points. She's still alive. And at that point, you eventually make your way off through the second half. And let's just see something here real quick. Oh, fuck. So as all of you are running, making your way through, just trying to get there as fast as you can, sprinting at this point, you hear, like, Bianca yelp and slow down, eventually blocking the path for, Cecily and whoever was behind her. But she manages to pick her pace back up as she continues to run, and eventually, as all of you get to the end, Poe being the first to drop off, or, like, jump off onto, like, where you have cover away from the firing. Bianca, you took 4 more points of damage.
Okay, it keeps cutting out. I might just go to video or
Okay.
whatever.
No, you're good.
Audio.
If it keeps pausing after a few seconds, then we all have to reconnect. I found out.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah, if we all freeze, just send a message.
Okay.
Okay, so as you are hit a second time, you can feel that air begin to drain from your lungs as you are pushing yourself super hard just to try and get to the other end. And who was at the end of this line?
Probably me, because I don't like people stepping on my tail.
Okay, so Desmond, as you are at the very back of the line, all of the rest of you making your way, jumping, getting into cover, Desmond, you can hear cracking behind you. As it seems there have been so many shots that have landed into this thin stone bridge, you hear and as you look behind you just momentarily, you can see the first half of the bridge just begin to break and crumble, and the second half of the bridge, as you are running across, almost at this point, like, stepping on stones that are falling, you have to run and jump, but luckily, because you were already so close by the time that they did enough damage to the bridge, you're able to jump and grab onto the ledge, and by your fingertips pull yourself up and onto the ledge, away from the gunshots.
I know that you're probably too far away, but I just want to pick the closest person and shoot a rock at them.
So, yeah, especially with the slingshot, you pull it back as far as you can and fling it, and it just goes maybe about 40 feet, and then just... And you see it land in the lava.
And I'm going to flip them off and then turn around and keep walking.
So all of you, out of breath, you get to the other edge. And you can see that the pathway just kind of curls up and then to the right. Just like Daku said it would.
Okay, I guess we're going to follow it. Or I'm going to start following it, at least.
Yeah,
I follow
so-
very cautiously.
Okay.
Likewise.
So you walk up, as there's a slight incline to the path for maybe 25, 30 minutes, and then you start to see light. You can just see it so faintly at the edge. And Poe, still being at the front, you start to pick up the pace a little bit, and you see that light go from what looked like natural daylight to more like blue. And like hints of purple, and you realize as you get closer and closer and closer, it's not daylight, it's more of that bioluminescent mushroom light. Giving off these almost like reverberations of this blue, as if it's like turning on and off again. And as you get to the edge, you're almost in like a little mushroom forest, and all of you eventually getting at the end of this half an hour, you can see that you're surrounded by these huge tall stalks of mushrooms that are just kind of surrounding you as really as far as you can see. But then as all of you sort of out of breath get to the edge, you see someone. And you can see there is a gnomish man, maybe about as tall as Ashima, and he's got an axe in his hands. And you can see him just tunk, 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 chopping down one of these like tall mushroom trees. Just chopping away. Tunk, tunk, tunk. That about did it, right? Oh, I should better keep going. He's just cutting away.
Excuse me.
Ah, he drops the axe and he pulls out a revolver from his back.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Sir, please.
Do I feel weapons?
We,
I got weapons, drop them.
I don't have any.
I like kind of, you know how they, you know, in the movies where they pull out their gun, they hold it in their hand to offer it. You know, I offer my sword. It's like one of my hand axes in the other hand. You know, just like, hey, we don't mean like any harm. We want to get to civilization. We want to be where the people are.
Not here.
Okay. And you're not one of those cultist types?
Oh, definitely not. We did run into some, but we got away.
We're just thankful to see somebody who doesn't have their eyes blacked out.
Definitely.
All right. Poe, I'd like you to make a persuasion check with advantage, because you have Ashima kind of helping you out, giving you that support. 17, and then... Oh, okay. All right. So you see him, the gnomish man, he kind of... All right. I'm sorry. Okay, it's just Listen, and he kind of points his revolver off to the right, and as you look down, you can see maybe 3 dead bodies of cultists right there. I mean, it's a culmination of over a couple of weeks, but you got to understand my fearfulness when I see 5 armed strangers, well, 4 armed strangers, well, 3 armed strangers, a halfling and a girl come through a cave where Dark One cultists are known to have come from. You understand? I didn't mean any offense by it.
No,
and he kind of
no.
Of course.
holsters it.
By all means, we understand. We look rugged. We have a long story, and we came out of a cave, caught you off guard. Do you mind if I put my weapons back on?
Oh, of course. In fact, and if any more of those come through that way, well, you got them to use them.
Of course.
Sorry, don't to be rude. The name's Byron Fungi. It's very nice to meet you.
Heh.
Yeah.
I like him already.
Me too.
So,
It's nice to meet you, Byron. I am Pawasa Inua from Water's Wake, and these are my friends.
from Water's Wake. Wait, did you say Inoa?
That's the name.
The Forge Master, right? Is that you?
Well, my father, he's more of the master. I'm his son and student.
That's... I'm in front of a living legend. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. Well, I'm sure the rest of you are going to tell me you're also sons of and daughters of famous people. Oh.
No, I was born in a ditch.
Oh, hey, you and I got common ground there then. Sorry, listen, I got to talk while I work, all right? Is that fine if I'm behind in my numbers? I don't even want to think about what's going to happen to me.
Sure.
Picks his axe back up and starts chopping the trees again.
What are your numbers for?
Well, by the end of every day, I have to have at least 45 mushroom logs cut down, ready to be harvested for whatever purpose they need them for.
How thick are these mushrooms?
I mean, they're probably about the size of like a young to middle-aged oak tree. Maybe, about that big.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't punch the wrist.
He
What?
just keeps chopping. Well, so and he goes back to chopping.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you all seem, well, not normal, but really, who is normal nowadays, right? But it just seems kind of odd that you're coming out of a cave where cultists come from. Wait a second, and he's like acts like in the mushroom, and then the mushroom kind of falls down, and he's still holding his axe there. Have you all killed cultists?
Unfortunately, it did come to that.
Yeah.
Oh no, not unfortunate. Like an hour ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a rock.
I think we said with a rock, like a.
I'm gonna plot a pebble.
With a pebble.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, you might not be famous now, but I promise you will be someday. Oh.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're bragging about it. Okay.
Yes. Well, listen. I think. So. Do all of you know where you're at? First and foremost, I feel like you seem a little bit turned around. Yeah.
We fell down a hole.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that happens, right?
Looking at Cecily, some more than others.
Yes. Well, just so you know, you are technically still in Summer's Rest. I just welcome to the Undercity. And I'll go ahead and move you guys to the Undercity map.
I'm so excited to see this.
It's not that big. But you guys are right at
we
this
didn't
cave over
make
here by this little mushroom grove.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yes, welcome. Sorry, it's not that nice, and in fact, it's not all that welcoming. In fact, the fact all of you are here, well, it makes me kind of nervous that just anybody could be making their way through here. But regardless, there's someone here who probably, if you all are so good at killing these things, there might be someone here who could actually use your help. I just need to wait probably a half an hour more until we can go. I just need to really get through. Oh, shit. And he picks up the axe and he starts cutting again. I just need to make sure I get these
Do you
numbers
have an
enough.
extra? Do you have an extra axe?
Yeah, right up on the house right there in the barn. You should be able to find another one. And there's quite a few in there. If all you're willing to help.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You helped us.
Don't want to hog the spotlight here, but is his axe dull? Like, is it? Could I,
Yes, his axe is very dull. It's almost like a club, really. It's really just kind of like wedging
Here.
in barely.
Okay, that definitely
Which,
makes me itch a little bit.
by the
Here,
way,
could I?
Evan,
Yeah.
what I would like to do is, because this is your item, I'm going to go ahead and add this to just your journal. Evan, and show to players. So you now finally have, that I promised you I would make weeks ago, the Noah Family Hammer. So, with the actual specifics of what it can do. And luckily, all of you notice now that there is a small, what starts to be a fairly large waterfall emerging from the rock and sort of coasts down and around this cliffside in this area. Very claustrophobic living area. And trickles down to where you are. And there's a small little river running through the mushroom grove.
Yeah, so if he allows me, I will take the axes and I'll start using, assuming that I know how it works, the axe and with rapid water wheel and try sharpening them and getting them going.
For sure, yeah. And he watches you and he says, huh, fuck me, yeah, that you are an Anoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
fortunately.
Huh. And he's just like enraptured watching you do this magical like sharpening of an axe, which for you is normal. Like this is nothing
Right.
compared to some of the stuff you would do with your dad, but you're just sharpening away, and eventually you sharpen 6 axes, and well, yeah, just start wherever. They grow back in a day, so it's not like it really matters. All right, and so he just goes back to cutting, and it's kind of weird. And now at about 2 cuts, he can get it 1 done, and for some of you with higher strength, it's like 1 fell swoop. And Ishima just having the dexterity you do, it's also 1 hit. Like it's
Okay.
1 hit, and then you just kind of push it over, and it's yeah, it's like
I
chopping
wish
through
I
bamboo
could
for you.
try to chop down more than everybody else.
Okay, make a strength check. Yeah, doesn't a mage hand have like 10 strength?
Well, it can carry 10 pounds. So I'm assuming like a 2-pound hand axe, it can just kind of do that with.
Yeah, so as you do, I'd like you to make a strength check with advantage because you, for the hand.
Okay.
So we'll just say the hand axe is 2 pounds. We'll just say add 8 to the modifier.
8?
Yeah, because it can carry 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
The hand axe is only 2 pounds, so we'll just say that other 8
Yeah,
is...
I'm sure.
So. Nice. Yeah.
So, Desmond, you are like hacking into one as hard as you can. It topples and falls. And then you see Cecily not doing anything, and you're like, what a scrub. And then you see her just kind of following this invisible axe that is just whoosh, 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 chopping down tree after tree. And they're just falling. And Cecily,
Yeah.
you're kind of impressed because you're starting to hone your skills.
Yeah, I definitely started this like, man, this fucking bullshit. We keep helping people. We don't need to be helping. What the fuck, But then I start doing this, and I'm like, and and just now I'm into it.
And after you cut like 6, Byron just drops his axe, and he like comes over to you, and he's like, "Lash, you gotta show me how to do that. Are you a wizard? You know magic?
I mean, maybe? It's a bit of a weird story.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, running into all of you is about the weirdest thing that's happened to me in about 45 years. So, honestly, it's just you know, they're not gonna believe any of this. That's so great. Listen, if there's any way you could show me how to do that,
No?
I'd be able to be out of the Undercity in weeks, maybe even days.
I might try to if I even knew how it worked. I mean, if I'm being honest, this kind of just fucking happened one day, so... and that one day was today. It's been really long. I wanna sleep.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do any... you can always show me later. I'd be more than happy to learn it anytime. I'm in no rush. But just, yeah, you gotta show me that one day. And he just kind of watches as all of you, after about 10, 15 minutes of working, collectively, you probably chop down, like, 70 mushroom logs. And after about 15 minutes, he says, okay, well, I guess we can stop now. You know,
Desmond, while watching Cecily do this, has a small part of him inside bubble up with fury, and I'm going to try to cast Mage Hand myself. With no magical ability at the moment, I'm going to try to cast it.
Okay.
Because I know that I can beat her.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
No way.
Desmond, you focus, and you just can feel the veins in your face and the veins in your neck just begin to, like, puff up, and you just focus so hard, and as you open your eyes, you can see a mage hand holding an axe chopping down trees, and you say, yes, I finally did it! And then you see Cecily just talking to Byron like it's nothing while the mage hand is still going. And you go, fuck! That's not my mage hand!
Nice.
I'm just going to slump my shoulders, tail curled between my legs, pride hurt a little bit, walk away.
All right. So, after he said, you all are... please don't chop down anymore, or else they'll raise my quota for the week, and believe me, I can barely handle 45. I don't know if I could do 70. I just wouldn't sleep, I guess. Well, well, I still have to work for about a half an hour more, so can I make you any food? I don't know. You got any clothes that need fixed? I know how to do a little bit of stitching.
Well,
Do you have any bread?
yes.
It's a
any
little
kind of
stale, but yeah, I've got bread.
I'll fucking take it.
Oh yeah, come on in. Just to let you know, my wife, she might be a little confused as to why all of you are here, and you know, just don't worry about it. I'll handle it, I guess. Thanks. Okay. Well, here, how about you all stay right here, and I'll go in, and then I'll come back out and get you in. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
well, that works.
All right.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right. So,
no, no, we don't do that here.
so he just kind of smiles and turns around, and you see him go into the small little stone, very simple stone farmhouse. And you can hear him just kind of, and you can hear this high-pitched voice, just like screaming at him. And he's like, oh, no. And you can't hear him very well, but you can hear her now that you like discern the tone, and she's like, "You want to bring people into this house? You know how long it's been since I've cleaned, Byron. You can't just invite people in. What about his working time? You're not supposed to." And you just hear her laying into him, and you can hear him go, "No. And then he stops, and then he comes back out and he smiles at all of you. So, I guess we should stay here, right? I realized as I was walking in, house is really dirty, so maybe we can just hang out here, enjoy the view, and like looking up at the rock and all of the chopped down mushroom trees.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we can
Cecily-
all do out here.
Cecily is going to way too dramatically groan with her hand on her stomach and just fall to the floor because she's not eaten anything for like a day and a half at this point, I think, because she refused the guards' food. So, yeah, I maybe should have exhaustion, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm
Here, roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
All right, let's hope I get bread soon. Haha!
You have the mental fortitude to ignore your stomach. You just think about anything else you can.
Urchin stomach. I have done this before. But yeah, I'm still gonna have a bit of a tantrum because I didn't get bread. I'm just,
Oh, she's never gonna teach me Mage Hand now. Well, so how's your day been?
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's been pleasant.
Oh. Nice.
It has certainly tried us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of exhilarating in a way, a weird kind of way.
That's a good way to look at it.
Back in the day, like 2-3 days ago when I, would fight in the ring, it was a similar enough kind of feeling.
Well, I'm glad you're all finding the fucking silver lining.
and speaking of Silverlight, it's cool that we're in Summer's Rest. We made it in. Not a lot of people do.
To sift through dirt and not look for the silver is to have a handful of dirt.
What?
Wow.
What?
If you don't look for the good in a bad situation, you just have a bad situation.
Why didn't you just say that?
Well, it's supposed to make you ponder. Apply it to your own situations.
God, I don't want to ponder. That's the last fucking thing I want to do today.
If you got
Haven't I done enough? Do I also need to ponder? God.
Might not hurt.
Byron,
Hey, yeah. Hello.
do you have... I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just realizing now how hungry I am as well. Do you have any food that you could spare us?
Well, I could always go back inside and see if I could get something. But it's just so
Is
dirty in
there-
there, and I don't know if I should go back inside.
Is there? You guys probably don't get a lot of visitors, but is there any inn or tavern?
Oh, like a place to go and spend money and drink.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, probably.
Nope. It's pretty nice, really, because you can really focus on your work, which is nice.
Wait a
don't know.
minute.
Wait, in Summer's Rest?
There,
Well, you see, you're in Summer's Rest technically, yeah, but you're in the under part. So there's like Summer's Rest, the exterior, which it seems like all of you are from, and then there's Summer's Rest, the interior, which is where all the rich people live, and then there's the Undercity, which is below, which is where all of the work happens. Yeah.
wait, so are there any businesses anywhere down here?
No, just workers.
Well then, what am I supposed to do? Rob people's houses? How am I gonna eat?
Well, we're given rations daily. But those are only for the workers. But in a half an hour, well, I guess about 5 minutes now, actually. Whenever the bell tolls, I'll be on my break for the next hour, and we can head on up to the accounts pending and maybe get you somewhere you need to be.
What happens when you eat the mushrooms?
Oh, well, these mushrooms in particular, we harvest them and sell them for. Well, actually, I don't know who they go to. I've never actually tried to eat one myself, but I had a dog who ate it once.
Had a dog.
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't very
Understood.
good those last couple of hours. I do miss him.
Hey, Cecily, I think I found something for you to eat.
Hey, Desmond, fuck you.
Oh, that's sweet.
All right, I
Yes.
feel bad asking you for anything now. I understand the rations may not be a lot anyways, so...
Oh,
Sicily-
no, they're more than enough. Honestly, sometimes I think I get too full. I overeat.
Oh,
Is it? How does he? Does that look? Looking at his belly, is that?
No, he looks very gaunt.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Oh god, this guy's just like totally resigned to his bad life. I feel bad.
Oh man, what's this? How's this taste?
And as all of you are sort of looking at him and how happy he looks, but the pain underneath his eyes, you hear a ding, 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 the same bell that you heard earlier. And it sounds closer, much, much closer. And you all can hear that there was a lot of miscellaneous sounds happening here, where there was hammer on steel, fires going, people shouting, people yelling, and now it's just pretty quiet. All of that, as soon as the bell stops, it seems like everybody stopped working, and they seemingly go on break. And Byron sort of looks to all of you and he says, "All right, well, I guess we can head up to accounts pending now, and hopefully you all can get where you need to go."
Oh,
The great equalizer of food.
Okay.
Well, so Poe, as you would have said that, he would say, "Oh no, it's not that easy. You can't just go up to the upper level. But here, I'll tell you about it as we walk along." Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, just follow me. And along the stone path there from his farmstead, up around that rock, across a wooden bridge, and then following the path northward towards this large, much more ornate building than the rest of them. Very simple stone buildings. Most of them blacksmiths, stonemasons, armorers. They are, it's funny because the entire city is just full of nervous energy. They're,
Same.
like I said, they're doing anything from weapons and armors to horseshoes and mining equipment. They're also refining ore to form it into bars. And you kind of get the idea that they do all of the dirty work so the upper city doesn't have to worry about it. And the upper city can just reap the benefits. On your walk, you can see people exiting out of these small stone houses, and they kind of look at you, and you hear them grumble a few times about outsiders and how it's no good. And most of them look either sick or malnourished, just like Byron. But before you can get a good look at any more, they all just kind of return back to their homes. And at about this point, when you get to this statue here, right next to this more ornate building, and it is a statue of a dwarven woman with these, most of her statue is just pure stone, like a gray stone, but she has these angelic wings that seem to be fashioned from gold. And it reads, "In honor of Saint Vistra." and then underneath that it says salvation through work. So I'll go ahead and drop that in chat. For anybody who wants that. So all of you walk along. Byron, he points out, oh yeah, that's sort of our idol. She was somebody who worked in the Undercity for long enough and did her work well enough, and she was actually able to go up to the upper city, and she was able to, a business owner died, and because of her hard work, it gave her the business. And, well, she died a while ago, but still, she serves as a beacon of hope for the rest of us. So, oh, come on, we shouldn't dally. I think we only got about 45 more minutes before I need to go. All right. You make your way up through this very lavish courtyard, and you can see these collections of blue crystals that are just glowing and reverberating this energy in the northwestern corner. And you can see two guards in full plate mail standing at the doors, and Byron approaches and he says, excuse me, guards, I have some people who turned up, and I don't think they necessarily belong in the upper, or in the Undercity, and I was hoping that, they might be able to talk to Brennan, Brennan Fisher, and maybe get back where they need to be. And the guards, they look down at him, and they look up at you, and they look at each other, and then the one guard looks down, and you hear a woman's voice say, all right, just give me 1 second, and we'll be right back. And the two guards, they each one opens up the door, and you can see inside, and it is this beautifully decorated, lavish, very hardwood floors, crackling hearth, desks and chairs and chandeliers and wonderful paintings. And the door shut, and that warmth and comfort escapes, and you're back out in the darkness and the oddly chilling cold. And you're just kind of waiting there for a moment. And maybe about 10 minutes later, the doors open, and the guards come back out, and they say, the same woman who spoke out originally, she says, the 5 of you can come with me. You have to stay out here, looking down to Byron. Oh, yes, of course, that totally makes a lot of sense. Well, I'm assuming this will probably be the last time you see me, so, well, I hope you have a good rest of your life, and who knows, maybe one day I'll see you up on the interior. Maybe with all the work I've been doing here, with a little bit of help. And he winks poorly. See you sooner than you think. All right.
In this cycle or the next.
Yep. Farewell, Byron. I hope those axes do you well.
Oh, they should. Better than the other ones. Of course. All right, well, bye. See you later, hopefully. He kind of steps back, and the guards sort of gesture for you to go in, and all the 5 of you enter, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the 5 of you make your way in. Easy peasy. And you can hear this, like, very, light music in here. Strings, almost like a small, orchestra, really. And you can hear people talking and chattering. Not very many, but enough to make it noticeable. And the guard leads you through. And Cecily, you get some really terrible flashbacks for a moment. But then as you make your way through another set of double doors, you can see a man standing in front of a desk dressed very, very finely, and who has this like stark white hair and beard. Very shortly, very finely trimmed, a very well-groomed and well-kept man. And he looks to all of you that entered, And you can see he's got a very fine doublet and trousers and boots on. And he's drinking a small cup of tea, and he kind of sips at it. So, all of you must be the 5 escaped prisoners then, correct? And you recognize this must be Brennan Fisher, the eldest brother to Rose.
Yes, it's us, and you must be Brennan.
Of course.
Hot
Yes.
tea.
Oh, would you like some?
Yes, please.
Of course. By the way, any of the food that's in here, you all may help yourselves to. Please, don't be shy.
Oh,
And as you look to the
shit.
side,
What is in here?
fresh baked bread, honeyed ham, smoked turkey and chicken, fresh fruits and vegetables.
Oh.
Food for a king.
I'm about to ratatouille this bitch. I'm just gonna. Cecily's gonna eat so much food. I'm going to inflate.
You're like with the grapes. Okay, so dive in. Brennan looks to you, Ashima, and he says, "Do you have a particular tea that you like?"
I'm not supposed to have preferences on it, but if
Oh.
you had buttered tea, I would be very grateful and would do just about anything for you.
Ah, yes. Well, I know that shouldn't have preferences, and so how about I bring you one that I think you would like then? How's that sound?
That would be very good. Thank you.
Very good. Let me see. And he goes over to a small cabinet. He opens up the doors and he pulls out. Oh, yes, there you go. That's it. So let's see here. Oh, yes. Teacup. Pours some boiling hot water in there and hands it off to you, Shima. So,
One moment.
Bianca, you see there is this. Everything else looks fairly normal, but you see this one thing that is like, it almost looks like. Oh geez, what is that? The imaginary pie from the Peter Pan movie with Robin Williams, where it is like brightly colored reds and greens and blues, just kind of like all stacked on top of each other.
Ooh.
But the thing is, you expect it to have that sort of creamy, like ice cream sensation, but it's hot and there's like steam coming off of it.
I'm just gonna get me a little sliver just in case it's disgusting, and give it a little try, a little bite.
So you do, and it is so rich. Like it is just overwhelming the senses. It's good, but I mean, you could maybe only eat a couple more bites before your tongue literally explodes. And you are not sure exactly what it is, but you would be really okay if you could have more in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Does
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
Cameron wanted to ask if any of does the silverware or plates and teacups, do they look really nice?
Oh yeah.
After I eat something, I'm just gonna pocket a knife and a fork or something.
Okay.
Just
I'd like you to make a sleight of hand check for me, real quick.
something I'm really good at.
Heck yeah, man. Oh,
Nice.
very good. Okay. So you are able to, without anyone noticing, just one after another, and they're steel, or not steel, they're like silver forks and knives, but they're lined with gold. The craftsmanship is exquisite on these. And I mean, they're probably worth probably a gold each. An entire set of these things is really expensive. You pocket those. Nobody seems to notice. Not even anybody around you who's eating. Brendan, he finishes pouring and serves the tea and says, so, right, I'm not incorrect, right? You are the prisoners who, not of your own will, escaped. It was completely an accident, correct?
Yeah.
Well, more accurately, we were finishing the job that Veronica had given us, and
Yes,
we got
yes,
separated.
yes, yes. Correct.
I believe we're not technically prisoners anymore because we did finish the thing that we needed to finish for
Oh,
the city.
perfect.
Plus, they owe us money, I think, technically.
Well, we're supposed to get paid now.
Well-
yes, don't worry, you will be paid. But, you all seem like the type of people who would love to be paid more. Yes?
I guess what is more? You know?
Well, it just depends. How valuable do you think your time is?
All right, look, guys. I'm gonna still be eating 4 things, but I'm gonna take a break to say this and just walk over with a tourist amount of food. Look, guys. It's been so much fun, but I really came to Summer's Rest to do my own thing, and people just keep asking us to do shit for them. And if we say yes to everyone, we're gonna be together forever,
50
and no
gold
one
apiece.
wants that. That is a lot of money.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
not intrigued, but it's a lot, and you're gonna keep speaking.
Very good. 50 gold apiece. For a total of 250 gold, I have a simple task for all of you. Well, I'm sure simple for you, right? You were able to kill those things that were in that loquacious man's house. So, killing more things seemed to be like something you can do all right, yes?
I didn't think he talked that much,
Oh,
but sure.
you haven't had dinner with him. Believe me,
Uh-huh.
it is ridiculous, and sometimes you just want to say, "Shut up, you old fat fuck." Oh. And you can see somehow the wine or the tea has changed to wine. So, right, I am somewhat of a warden, if you will, manager, overseer of the Undercity. Make sure all the little worker bees do what they need to do in order to meet their quotas. I try to be as nice as I can, and, well, sometimes we need to do a little extra in order to make those things happen. And, well, sometimes there is mistakes that are out of my control. And those mistakes need to be fixed. Sadly, all of the people you see here in the Undercity are not fighters. They're not warriors. They can get the job done in a pickle, but they really don't have what it takes to finish things up right. So, what I'd like each one of you to do is kill some more things. About 2 months ago, we started a new mining excavation. A closer tunnel that I had discovered near the city. Not even taking the elevator down, just near the city. We would have a very clear stream right into where we needed to be. So we went through, we got the necessary explosives, we got everything we needed. And then, well, things were fine for a bit. We set off the explosives, we had the hole, everything seemed like it was going to work out perfectly fine. But then, a few days later, there was this gas that started to leak from the where we had blown the hole. Now, somebody in their planning had missed out on a pocket of this very, sadly, this very noxious gas that surrounds the majority of the interior of Summer's Rest. Now, the ores that we find here are exceptional, but the gas makes it a dangerous hazard. Soon after that entire bottom portion of the city, the people started to get very, very sick. Very sick. And then they would die. And then, well, something else would happen. And those things would eat the other dead things. And, well, luckily they can't climb walls. And the staircase has been blocked off leading to the Undercity, that lower quadrant. So what I'd like all of you to do is I'd like you to go down there. I would give you 2 barrels of explosives. You would seal the hole. And if you can kill any of those things, for each thing you kill, bringing me proof of, I will give you an additional 5 gold pieces for each head or hand. So 10 gold per thing if you can bring me the head and hand. How's that sound?
I actually don't mind the sound of that, but I have one request,
Of course.
and I'm gonna pull out my crossbow. It's great, I like it, but it's a little slow to use. Do you have anything faster that is a ranged weapon? Because it's a little
Yes.
not my favorite.
Of course, of course. I think I have something that would fit you. I myself, I have all these lovely gods around me who would do anything for me, so I tend not to need it as often, but I think someone like you could get a great deal of use out of this. All I ask is that, well, after you finish up, if you find out that it's not for you, I'd love to have it back. But I think you might like it. You seem like someone who enjoys fashion, so this might be for you. And he turns around, and there's a small case behind him, maybe about that big, and he opens it, and he pulls out this like obsidian and ivory inlaid revolver that is like etched and very, very beautiful. He says, let's see, still loaded. That's good. Slams it shut. So, and he twirls it around and hands the handle towards you. So here, you can borrow this, and right as you're about to grab it, he sort of pulls it back. Oh, wait, just a moment. Right, I would like to see it back in one piece. All right?
I think I can do that.
All right, very good. So, here's what I'll say. Now, I should let you know there are only 6 shots in that. I don't have any spare ammunition, so just be mindful. All right. So, sound like a deal?
Sounds good to me.
Hey, can we have like a group huddle, group little circle up
A what?
at the food table? I'm gonna keep eating.
All right.
Sure.
Yep, let's have it.
So Cecily would like to pull all of them away from Richie McRichface.
Okay.
And she is going to keep eating, but just gonna kind of. Okay, listen, guys. So a couple things. I don't really like how he's calling the cultists down there things. Now, maybe you guys don't give a shit about that at all, but I guess I just don't trust rich people at all. So that's part 1. Part 2. Me and Daku, what happened down there? So, I don't like him at all. I'm just gonna make that real clear. I am never gonna be whatever the fuck he is. But right now, he thinks I like him.
Ew.
And, well, yeah, gross. I agree. It's puke. Yeah, but
I should hold my tongue. I'm sorry.
there might be a way to look. I'm here for personal reasons, as the rest of us are. I might be able to get something out of him before we fuck that up by killing more of those
things down there, which happen to be people who were probably just poor and didn't have any other choices, but just whatever. So, does anyone give a shit about that, or
I
You told me to.
well, I was gonna say I don't like necessarily that he's calling them things, but they're trying to kill and hurt people too. So I don't know. It's very messy. I don't think there's a right or wrong here. So we're getting paid.
I don't like the word usage either, but I think that reintroducing a separation between those people and these would cause a little bit more peace, I suppose. Cecily, you told me to trust you as far as these cultists go.
yeah? Well, what about it?
What does your heart say? Not your gut, not your mind, but what does your heart say?
Well, I have 3 things I gotta listen to. What do they all do?
You'll know.
Oh my god. Why don't you just... All right, look, I'll yell at you later. The point is, they're fucked up, and I really don't like them, and I don't like the way that Daku guy looks at anyone, but
But
look, I'm kind of in a bind here, and if there's a way I can get information from them at some point, I'm going to. And then I can cut and run. I'm good at that. I'm good at cutting and running. I can take care of that part fine. I just don't want to fuck up this part first.
okay.
On the other hand, 50 gold's a lot of money, but I don't know. I don't like getting exploited for money. I'm pretty good at stealing it. So, okay.
If you had personal reasons and you wanted to ignore all of this, why do you care about the connection and getting information out of Daku? I don't mind. I'm just wondering why the sudden investment.
He told me he might know something. That's all.
Something about us? About Summer's Rest?
About me. Just me. This is just my own thing. And none of you really
So
need to
it
know
is
about
still-
it.
So, but it is something personal, regardless, that would affect everybody.
It doesn't need to. We do this and we're done, right?
But we'd be doing it for you.
Is it?
Again, not a bad thing. Just be transparent.
I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but is it about your brother?
Poe, we know each other well enough now that I'm going to come clean with you. I told you I had a brother so you would give me money.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Okay, well, I guess our journey does end here. So I have things that I need to do in Summer's Rest, and well, if you want to do this for money, you can do it. I really need to get a move on because I actually do have people who are relying on me, and that's what I need to do.
Wait, Poe, come on, don't get... I had to do that. It's not like I had much of a choice.
You know,
Listen. Let's not talk about who we're doing for it here. Did you see Byron? The poor man is shaking with a firearm in his hands, terrified for his life. All these people are. And if you're looking for a more personal reason, it might be the best way to get out of here. And looking at our wonderful patron, I do get the feeling that this is an offer that we can't refuse, not just financially.
Fuck.
I do understand Cecily wanting to know more about things that you just don't know about yourself. But if Daku knows anything about you, that means other people do too. This wouldn't be your only hope. If he has some special power, other people have it too.
Well,
I don't. I don't know if you know what you're talking about, but
God, I'm just so tired of having to do things for other people. It just fucking sucks. All right,
You
well,
could pretend like you pretended to get money from me. Pretend that you like helping other people.
I'm glad you don't know what it's like to not have eaten for 4 days, to be sleeping on the streets in the rain, to have just gotten your ass kicked by the people who are supposed to protect you, and desperately need just a few copper pieces so you don't fucking starve. I'm really glad you don't know why I had to do that, Poe. I'm glad you've just lived a perfect little cushy life with your dad.
I believe that this conflict should end here and now, at least for the time being.
I think I think you're right. Brennan. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to take you up on your offer. I have some business in Summer's Rest I need to tend to, but I'm sure this group is a good group for you to rely on. But as for me,
Of course, yes.
my father is the Inua in Waters Wake, and
Oh, yes, yes, of course,
he's
yes.
very sick, and I'm looking for a friend of his here. So
Yes, well, I'm very glad to hear that you'll be working with the rest of them to complete that task to leave.
no. Yes, okay.
There we go. That is the spirit. See, for a moment, I doubted you, but I'm glad that you work very well together. I mean, obviously, all of you had to have made it here from what I heard from what Veronica had sent down the pipe to myself and to Rose. She assumed all of you were dead. Somehow you're alive. Gotta count for something, right?
Is Rose still mad?
Well, you are a very lucky lady. You and Ashima both. You all have some some friends in high places. Because, well, she was, but one of her close consorts, traveling gypsy-like woman, was able to talk her off the metaphorical ledge.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, that's good at least. So, that's a yes from everybody. It seems as though Poe is the most excited one, right? Right, Poe? Right?
Extremely excited.
Oh, yes, I love the spirit, love the energy. Oh, to be young again, right? And to adventure, to tackle the unknown. Well, all of you are such a cheery bunch. It's honestly quite refreshing. Well, so listen, you all have had a rough day, and, well, all of you probably need a little bit of rest. So, how about this? I have some nice, comfy beds here. You can sleep in. You can spend the evening eating, getting a full belly, using my hospitality, and then you'll be able to complete your mission, which I am oh so kindly paying you for. And then I'll be more than happy to send you on your merry way. And to put the icing on the cake, in the message Veronica had sent to us wardens, mayors, overseers, she talked about how you five, she was most of the way confident that you were really free of any terrible deeds. So, she talked in the message about giving you a mercenary's contract. Now, in order to have a mercenary's contract, guess what you need? Guess.
Your signature.
Exactly. You need to be a free individual, not bound by any law-abiding contract that says that you must work for money before you can work for yourself. And then 2, you need to have a sponsor. And well, my friend, I would be more than happy to give you all the Fisher House sponsor. Now, of course, the only issue with it is all of you are going to have to get over your issues with one another, because mercenary contracts are binding. Because you will be working under the Fisher name, you all, well, you can't accept a contract if one of your companions are not there. And this contract, guess what? Is not just going to be Desmond, or just Cecily, or just Bianca, or just Poe, or just Ashima. It will be the 5 of you together. So sweet, yes. A nice, happy little family. Oh, it just warms my heart to think about. So, hopefully this will be a nice family bonding exercise for all of you to get over some of those very obvious roadblocks you have with one another. All
Wait.
right.
How long does this contract bind us together?
Until terminated by the Fisher family.
So maybe forever?
Maybe. Or until you die.
Cecily is going to scream. Just
As you,
in the middle of this party.
as you let out the scream, the music stops. People stop talking. Everybody looks at you. And, Brennan, he sort of looks up. Oh, no, don't worry about it, everyone. She screams when she's excited. Isn't that so odd? And everybody starts talking, and the music starts back up again.
Well, turtle does not change the tide on its back alone, but ends upon the same shore. So
I don't know what the fuck you just said, but I'm gonna eat that fucking turtle if you say anything like that ever again. Alright, look, if we're stuck together, we're gonna need to get along, alright? Ashima, stop talking like that. Desmond, stop challenging me to things. You two, I don't know, get over yourself or something. Well, I can't even tell you what's going on with you two. So fucking boring and stuffy, and you... Poe, just calm down, okay? Just calm down, and we'll all get along fine. All
I'm the
right?
one to calm down.
If this is how it needs to be... Oh,
Cecily.
okay, we're gonna turn it... What?
You called us a group before Brennan did.
You did.
It's true.
Oh, that is... I love that. You know what? The power vested in me, because it... Sometimes you do things just because they're funny. I can denote on your mercenary form, which, by the way, you all will be freelance workers. You can go wherever you want in Bella Clara and do whatever you want. It will just be tied to my name. So, but I have the ability on your mercenary contract to specify a designated leader to end all inter-party conflicts. And you know what I think would be so funny?
Please
Don't
don't.
say it.
Oh no.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it. Please
I
don't
actually
do it.
think
Come on,
that's a
Brennan.
good idea. You should do it, Mr. Fisher.
Just before you make a decision, maybe reconsider.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm laughing. My mouse is moving too much to click on.
Okay. And you see him, he is just, you can see him on the edge of saying Cecily. And he just,
So,
all right. You know what?
are,
How about you do this, and then I see how the 5 of you interact afterwards, and we'll go from there.
fair.
There? Very good. All right, well, I am so excited to see the work that you accomplish. Of course, you are not in any way sponsored by the Fisher family now. In case in your ultimate demise or embarrassment of me, I wouldn't want any of that. So you're doing this as freelance mercenaries tied to no name. I hope that makes perfect sense to all of you right now. You'll still be paid, provided you live. If you don't, though, yes. So, would you like me to show you to your rooms then?
Just a minute.
Okay.
And, yep, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So you make your way back, and you grab some more food on your plate, and
Yeah. It's not Ratatouille anymore, it's Satatouille. I'm just...
Well, while we're here, those stuffed peppers are very handsome.
So you grab it and you take a bite. Oh, it's delicious. It is like sour cream and cheese filled with like smoked steak, and it is just.
Pick those.
Oh no,
sorry.
No, sorry. There are some. They're denotated which ones are vegetarians and which ones
Okay,
are
good.
easy enough. No steak. You're good. So.
Yeah, you really raised the stakes right there, Joe.
It was a medium difficulty.
Cheese
Yeah.
filled. Cheese filled. Filled.
With a minefield. I don't know which ones are vegetarian or not. I can do dairy, but I can't.
So, the 5 of you, Brennan himself, he says, now, because I have such a vested interest in your accomplishments here, I would love to see you succeed, and well, I think our partnership together is going to be one that is going to be written in the history books. But first, you need your beauty sleep, just as any well-performing mercenary does. So, I personally, instead of getting a lackey or a servant, I will lead you to your room. Yes. So, follow me.
Room singular?
Yes, room, singular.
All of us, one room singular.
Oh, yes, there are 6 beds in there, 2 couches, 3 lounge chairs, and 5 ottomans, so I'm sure you'll be able to feel as though you'll have enough space from one another. Please follow me. All of you make your way through and follow him. He opens up...
Stack of bread.
just this tall. He opens up 2 double French doors. 2 Tarkirian French doors, I guess. And into this very wonderfully decorated room. And he opens the door, and you can see the 6 beds and all of the other furniture that I had mentioned in the previous sentence that I don't need to say again.
Yeah.
He says, take your pick, please, any way you like. And in case you are thirsty, there is wine and some more bread and cheese there on the table in case you get hungry and you want a little midnight snack. All right?
Poe is going straight to the wine.
All righty. Well, I will come for you bright and early in the morning. Of course, there's no sunlight here, so that is purely a metaphor. I will come and get you after 8 hours. Please enjoy your stay at Brendan Fisher's estate. All right.
Are all the beds the same size?
Yes, they are.
Nah. I'm gonna go have some wine as well.
All right. Toodaloo,
Well,
nighty night, and he shuts the door behind you.
I'm gonna go to the farthest away bed and just lay face down. Cecily is done for the day, perhaps the week. We'll see if I move in the morning. I'm done.
So, in here, it is definitely a little bit quieter from everywhere else, and there's not really anything that is that you can hear from the outside.
I'm going to sit on the couch with my wine.
Okay. So all of you just sit and drink wine and maybe eat a piece of cheese here and there. Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna be first.
Oh, I was just gonna. Desmond's going to say to Bianca and Ishima. So, we never really heard why y'all ended up in prison. What happened there?
I accidentally burned Brennan Fisher's sister, Rose Sister, with acid puke.
It was involuntary to.
No, it wasn't voluntary, yeah.
You're joking, right?
Oh, Desmond, I wish I was.
She is not.
That's so funny. It's a good story.
It is pretty funny.
In retrospect, it's really funny. In the moment, it felt like I don't know.
Like you
I
just wanted
wasn't
to.
myself.
You were so embarrassed you wanted to vomit.
I tried. I'm not always good with words, but I tried to say I don't even know what to get her to go away, and literal vomit just came out of my mouth. Not even word vomit, and it was acid. So that's cool. That's what he meant by it. She's still burned. That was that.
You know, if we have to be a group or a team or whatever this is, I'm glad the two of you are on it with us.
Yes. I
So
agree.
raise my cup of wine. Here's to acid puke.
And then I'll pick up a glass, assuming there's one, to acid puke.
And
Acid
serial
puke.
killers who did not manage to skin us.
Also, a very noble pursuit of not being skinned.
Not being skinned, she says into the pillow.
But I meant what I said back there in my sermon, I suppose. That's not what we call it in my religion, but you are all very capable people. Even you, Cecily. And well, I suppose I've been around from the looks of it the longest. I can say that I see some very fine people here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you really that old?
35,
Like
yes.
that old.
I thought you said that.
I know halflings never really show it, but yes, I am 35.
Very cool.
Well, I know what you mean, actually. I'm playing coy. I suppose there's something about me that even Bianca doesn't know. That's I come from a bit of a backwater to the east. I was born in Wukome City in Loshar. Have you ever been there? Heard you know that it exists?
I saw it on a map.
I may have heard of it in.
Right. Well, yes. Well, I suppose that's not as important. As you know, I'm not a monk of the divines. In fact, some would argue that I'm not a monk at all. Well, I suppose my order does not allow me to be dishonest. And I must tell you that I am believed to be the 11th reincarnation cycle of Tong Wu, the teacher.
Tong who?
Well, that's embarrassing. I forgot that you're all Westerners, and that means nothing to you. Maybe that's a good thing.
Why is that embarrassing to you? It should be embarrassing to us that we don't know if it's a big deal.
Well, not really. As I said, Loshar is a bit of a backwater. I just always forget traveling abroad how much of a backwater it is.
Mm.
Well, I'll give you the short version. It's believed in my religion that with... How do I even begin? I suppose I'll start with me. You know about the Calamity, yes? Presumably, if you studied enough history to know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well,
Well, I remember reading about that.
very, 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 very long story short. Before there was this, what we now know as the salamanders and this continent and all the continents, really, as they are in their current state, there was a event called the Calamity, which powerful dragons and gods, Bahamut and Tiamat fought, and the gods and devils and fiends were spawned as a result. And well, it's believed in my culture that two men or women, it's never quite specified, led our people out of ancient Hagarvia to the land of Loshar. And disillusioned with the gods, we found a way to transfer the energy in our body into a new one, of reincarnation. And every time we die, we take a new form. Some people have called this, it's a bit hard to understand, it's like cheating the gods of our souls. But that's not quite accurate. Anyways, 11 deaths ago, I guess 10 deaths ago, that was me and my master.
Wow, that is very, very fascinating. It's an honor to
Right.
have met the
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
incarnation.
No, don't. The thing is that there is a little bit of that energy in everyone. I mean, I've certainly felt a connection with my past lives, being with you all, and I think that's saying something. Each one of you has that energy of greatness that gets cycled through the universe. And though the gods might have snatched your previous forms and souls, there's still a bit of you. All energy is recycled. There's still a bit of greatness that's transferred into you.
Really?
Each of you. I certainly believe it.
We're traveling with two famous people and then us three, unless you guys have some famous other stuff, important background that I don't know about either.
I also wouldn't really call me famous, since my identity won't be revealed until I take the vow of the teacher, which will be years from now.
So do you have any like special responsibilities as this teacher person?
Well, we can talk about those some other time. They're extensive and long, and I'm going to take out the scrolls. If you're really curious, I mean, I have a lot of literature here that I can talk about that you can read as well.
I'm not much of a reader.
I am, but I want to figure out what this mushroom does first.
I'd love to take
Right,
a
there's the task at hand. Please, I had to memorize them all when I was 10, so you can borrow them whenever.
Oh, great.
I was 10. I had to start sharpening blades.
Still a noble pursuit.
I guess so.
You're creating something physical instead of just sitting in a monastery and thinking all day.
I mean,
Alrighty, guys. Cecily's gonna like slightly turn her head and still be talking into the pillow, basically. This is me being as nice as I can possibly be.
And we appreciate that.
I want to sleep. So in about 10 minutes, we all need to stop speaking. Or I'm going to get very upset. And I've learned recently, on accident, that when I get upset, sometimes lightning shoots out of my hands. I'm just getting that out there. And she'll just kind of turn back around. And probably immediately start snoring. She's done.
Well, be quiet.
Yes.
We still
Actually,
have 10 minutes.
This is my whisper.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
right, yeah. She's gone.
I'm sorry. Did all of you guys hear something? Because I didn't.
Now, let's not build a house upon rocky foundations. For better or worse, we're in this for a while, and it might be wise to find the greatness in each other rather than the flaws. For a
Well,
time.
First wisdom metaphor thing you've said that made any sense to me.
Maybe it just connected better.
I'll be
Like a... No, I won't. I promise I won't.
While Bianca's looking at the mushroom, I just want to glance around the room to see if there's anything interesting, like decorations or pieces, or if it's just like a plain room.
No, I mean it is as lavishly decorated as the rest of the house.
Yeah, I think I kind of feel bad after pulling it off and then hearing Yashima. I just feel guilty. Drank too much wine, being too aggressive than I normally would be. I'm going to start reading or at least try to read my father's journal. I'm happy to have access to that again.
Okay, very cool. Alrighty, so during the long rest, Bianca, you ascertain the quality of that mushroom. Did you write down? What did you write down about it?
I want to know what effects it has and how it can be used in other. Here, I can also put. I think I can know everything about it, which is cool. But where is experimenter? This thing. If it will. Oh wait, nope. There we go. This thing.
Okay, cool. And then let me just go ahead and.
But I would like to know how I can use it for other things, and also just what effects it has mostly. Oh, are you putting things in here?
No, sorry. I was looking up. Okay, 2 glowing mushrooms. All right. So all of the ones in the cave. They were purple. They were purple glowing mushrooms. Yes, I remember now. Okay. So you ascertain the qualities of these mushrooms. Now, these mushrooms, in particular, these ones, they are poisonous. But they're not poisonous like they damage your or your digestive system, and they're acidic. These ones are mentally damaging, so they taste very good. That's the thing. Anything they're served with or stewed into, they taste delicious with. But they cause whoever ingests them, if they if they are prepared correctly, and they are boiled down into the right you succeed on the alchemist tools check, pretty much. You can harvest the essence of it, and whoever ingests it must succeed a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, or else they start to hallucinate that everything around them is like falling apart, and that they are like, their skin is peeling back, and they're just going through this absolute horror of their own body just kind of like being ripped apart and falling apart, like they're going on a very, very bad trip. And if they fail, they are incapacitated. And then if they are not like healed, or somebody does not snap them out of it within 8 hours, they die.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
It would have been really funny if Bianca didn't stop me from eating that mushroom and my character died in the first session from something like that.
Would that have been funny though?
Do we? Is there, Joe? Is there like a
Put away.
pump stomach cantrip?
Well, luckily, also just a high enough medicine check would be able to undo it. It's really useful if you're trying to assassinate someone who lives alone. As sad as that sounds, I don't know what circumstance that would be in.
Well, if they're quiet, you can also just lock the door in their bedroom.
Yeah, thanks, serial killer.
Hey, does anyone want to like put their ear to Felicity's floor? I think I hear a heart beating.
Okay, so yeah, so we have that. You discern that. Poe, I'd like you just to make an intelligence check as you're going through those
I'm nervous about this.
father's books and everything.
My intelligence is not great. Okay. That's lucky.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and move you back to the start here, where the map is. So within the wait a minute, the map isn't loading for me. Is the map loading for anyone else?
Yeah, it's there for
Yeah.
me.
That's awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, it loaded for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put map and background. Let's see, Poe, your color is going to be green. So anytime that any of you get a sense from your thing, or you figure out a little information, I'll go ahead and mark it on the map in your color. So Poe, you are going to be green. And after reading and doing a little bit of research, you know that one of the places that your father wanted to stop, but never had the opportunity to, was in the Giant's Foot Lake, which is right here. Go ahead and put it across there. So you know your father wanted to go there on his journey, but never was able to. You see notes about how he thought it was too close to home. There was probably nothing there, but you can see sort of cross-referencing in the back that he does make mention of how he wished he could have gone back, especially later in his life.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm just gonna. Okay, that's weird. All right, I'll do that later. So, all of you working, doing your own things until eventually sleep finds all of you. And I'll go ahead and move everybody back to the underside. Almost all of you sleep as peacefully as you can, knowing the terrible things that have happened, and who knows, more terrible things probably that will come, and all of you have a fairly normal sleep, except for one of you. One of you end up having a vision in your sleep. And go ahead and go to that person now. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Oh my gosh.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Bianca,
Yay! I got a vision.
as you are sleeping, you get glimpses. You fall asleep initially, and you just begin to dream. And you dream about your shop and what could have been if Rolius wouldn't have showed up. I mean, you're happy that you have these abilities now, that you're more powerful now. You can do things, but those thoughts start to creep in the back of your mind. Well, could I just go back? Could I just return to what I was doing? And you find yourself walking through a very peaceful glade. Small rivers, birds chirping. You're above ground. You can feel the sun hitting your skin, and you didn't know how much you missed that. It's so nice. And you can see meditating at the edge of a lake. Green-skinned, horned, Rolly is sitting there meditating. Bianca, darling, why don't you join me? It's quite peaceful here, isn't it?
It is. I don't really know where we are, but I miss the sun.
Yes, the sun is quite wonderful. Please, take a seat. And she's not even looking at you. She's just looking out and pats the ground next to her.
Okay, I'll take a seat.
Still looking out. How are you holding up, darling?
Just moment after moment, I guess. I was going to say day by day, but it's only been a day. It's been, well, today's been a crazy day. I guess it's been a week or so since the event happened, but again, still moment by moment, day by day.
It's the best way to do it, darling. You know, when I originally had you do that and we went through the process together, I didn't think that this would happen like this. And I want you to know I am sorry.
What did you think was going to happen? Why'd you leave me?
Well, when I saw things start to go bad, Rose and I, well, we know each other. And I thought it'd be best to go get the one person who might be able to absolve you of any crimes you might be committed. And, well, turns out I could not have seen the adverse reaction your body had to it. The process, that is. Luckily, after several hours, I was able to talk Rose down, and we were able to heal her up for the most part. Still some scarring there, but...
Feel really bad.
Oh, no. Darling, don't feel bad. Rose puts on a pretty face, but she is not a nice lady. No. Her and her brother are both terrible people.
Her brother, I've only heard some things, but I mean, I don't dislike him. I don't dislike any of the Fishers, but he's not very charming.
Oh, they're fine. Oh, they think they're so much more charming than what they really are. But don't worry. I'm sure he'll have you do whatever needs to be done, and then when you come back up, we'll be able to get things straightened out.
Okay.
All right. And listen. Whenever you have the chance, read the book a little bit more. You might end up finding something that... Well, the person who I purchased that from, they were an older blood hunter. Didn't need it anymore. They'd found all the secrets, but I very much doubted they were as smart as you are, dear.
Thanks. Who was the blood hunter you bought it from?
Some older man. He was from Tarkir.
I don't have anything else, like up my sleeve.
Whoop. Wait a minute.
A short sleeve.
Felicity?
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh no, I lost her.
Oh no.
We weren't done yet.
Oh shit!
Let me try and reconnect here. Reconnect. And...
Yeah, he's reconnected.
Hello.
Oh, he's okay.
Oh, she's gone. All right. Oh, she's back.
Yeah, they're both all right. Cool. As long as they find each other, that's what matters.
I think it's funny that I don't have any video right now, though.
Yeah, Poe hasn't really shared much. I guess there's not really a lot to him, because like, I think part of it is because.
Oh no, mine did too. Okay. come back at least a little.
No.
She just
I'll do
gives
a
it back to Desmond.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to look at Desmond and be like, give him the nod so we could F up that giant spider together. I don't think we were ready for that.
No.
No.
Yeah, we gotta meet him on better ground.
I mean, I got Daku.
A fairly strong dude.
Yeah.
I imagine he's, in the CR 3 or 4 range at least, but the thing is, I got him on Cecily's side, so as long as Cecily doesn't fuck up, he'll still think that they're cool, and then she can use that as leverage at some point.
Yeah.
And I was ready to use that as leverage, like, immediately. Like, that's why I was trying to lie in, like, layers of lies when I was talking to Ashima. It's because
Lies
I was
within
like,
lies within lies.
if we make the decision to fight now, I want to get the jump on him,
Well, I was
And if we
waiting for. I
don't-
was waiting for you. I was like kind of like in a meta way, in a non-meta way. I was like just going and trusting you, but in a meta way, I was like, all right, he's gonna do something, and then I'll follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to make that decision for the group, and then we all
Is
die.
anyone near me?
That would've
Oh,
been bad.
yes.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
All right, we're hopping back in. We got it. We
Okay,
got it.
cool. I
Okay.
heard older man from Tarkir.
Yes, that's okay. That was the last thing I said, and then you turned black. All right, so she says, yes, it was an older man from... He was from Turkey, but he is in the Salamander coast. I believe he was in the... somewhere on the western Salamander. He'd been making his rounds there. Something about a family pilgrimage. His name was Lucian Cote. Sorry, the dialect is hard for me. I'll go ahead and spell that here. And it's like, oh, but I can't do the things. All right, so it's that, but the O has one of the triangles above it,
Okay.
and the E has an accent agu.
Okay.
Yeah, put that there.
Accent triangle thing. Okay, cool. Well,
Yes. And
Good enough.
move you back here. She says, now, last I heard, he was in... Oh, what was it? Vossi. The brothers' city, the three... I'm sure you've heard of them. Red-haired boys, complete clusterfuck of everything.
yeah, a little bit.
Yes. They... I'm going to go ahead and circle that for you. There you go.
All right.
So, they're there, and who knows, maybe he could have more for you. But, yes, I do want to say, darling, although we might not talk much, especially after everything that's happened, I want you to know that I'll always be by your side if you really truly need me.
How?
I've lived a long time. I have a way with things. And when you get to be as old as I am, well, some things start to get a little easier.
Well, not to be rude, but how old is that now that you've implied it? Because you don't look very old at all.
Well, haven't you been told that it's rude to ask how old a woman is?
And you implied that it's been a long time. So, yes, I know it's rude.
That's fine, darling. I have been living in this form for 60 years, about. And, you know what? I always like to keep them guessing, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. And who knows, maybe if you get me wind up, I'll tell you more later.
Well, watch out. I might have to.
Well, I'm excited to do that then, darling. Well, You need your beauty sleep, as you have quite the day ahead of you tomorrow. Be careful, please, darling.
Right.
The last thing I want is to, well, lose our fun little talks.
I'd miss that. Well, I'd be dead. But I'd miss that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, sleep tight, darling, and remember, if you need me, I'll be there.
Okay.
And she kind of just fades away, like her opacity is being turned down as she just becomes see-through and then translucent and then not even there anymore. And you just sit in that glade and you fall back, looking up at the sun, feeling the cool breeze on your face, the birds chirping, the rivers running, and you just fall asleep there. And then, sadly,
Oh, it does?
when you wake up the next morning,
I'll ask him.
no more of that, just back to where you were. And it is fine. You're alive, but you wish you could go back. So, all of you wake up the next morning with a knock, very loud, at your door. All right, it is time to go. We have a mission to accomplish, if I believe. And he pulls open the double Tarkirian-style doors. Says, please, get dressed, gather your items. We cannot dally a minute longer. If we do, I fear to think what would happen to the rest of the city. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, get ready. Food and drink, please. Take whatever you like. But you all have something to accomplish today. Oh, isn't it great to have purpose once more? That's not just living. You all are going to accomplish something great. I can feel it. And as all of you are so pissed at this fucking guy who just came in. He owns the place, yeah, sure, but acting like he was owning the place. And the worst part is he acted like he owns all of you. And that's really what starts to bug you. But as you gather your items, strap on your armor, and head out the door to head to the southeast quadrant of the city, right here. Ready to face whatever noxious gases await and evil things lie in wait. That's where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
And Joe, I am curious. So, does the recorder follow you, right?
Does the recorder follow? No, the recorder does not follow me.
Okay. Oh man, all my racist comments are stuck in the video then.
All mine are too.
Yeah, we said some really bad stuff about
Race.
Yeah. We said Macedonian people are just Greeks with a red flag. We said that. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most contentious topic these days.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a very large following in Macedonia, and I'm glad that you just blew all 12 of those subscribers.
Yeah, well. Sorry.
That was a very
I can't be
unfortunate
contained.
phrasing.
We did say though, Joe, how we did say how awesome this campaign is so far. Because Mark said that he mentioned like every character has been super likable so far. Like our characters' chemistry and everything is just very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Your guys is I gush about it, and I think I've gushed about it to all of you, and to Kayla and to anybody that will listen about D&D, but I really, really, really enjoy how your characters mesh together. And listen, Evan, you wanted to pull a Nomi tonight, but I didn't let you pull a Nomi tonight. You're staying, Buckwheat. You're staying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How did you guys?
Do the Nomi noise?
Yeah, just for old times.
What are the odds Poe has anxiety and that's the sound he makes now?
What are the odds?
Noises.
That's
What are the
the
odds?
noise.
What are the odds that the noxious gas that we find is actually helium, and Poe starts to sound like Nomi?
Yeah.
What are the odds that the high helium stuff and everybody just sounds like the joke Desmond voice I did with Mark that one time?
Alrighty, well, for one, I would like to thank everybody for watching. This is the end of the session. I really hope you enjoyed. Tech issues and all, Hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, please comment. Tell me what your favorite part was. I'm sure all of them would love to hear. If you would love to see more, subscribe, ring the bell, so that way you get notifications when I upload any videos to the channel. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you. Bye.